Ginn here.
What's up, guys? Rick Zach Ginn here.
And in today's video, we're going to break down exactly the art of lowballing your sellers and, most importantly, how to lowball your sellers. We're going to give free scripts, everything you need to know today on how to lowball your sellers. I'm telling you right now, by the end of this, you should at minimum get an extra 80% profit on your real estate wholesaling deals, like at minimum for lowballing sellers. And this is why we tell everyone to go out here and actually, you can easily make 80% more in your deals just by lowballing your seller. And everyone's like, oh, lowballing you, when you do that, sellers kick you out, all this stuff. Guys, I'm telling you, no, they won't. And there's a lot of great strategies, and really excited about sharing that today because not a lot of people, I'd say most wholesalers don't know how to do it the right way. They stink at it. So we're here with the master of closing deals, the master of acquisitions, and really the master of lowballing sellers. And here's the coolest part. Like when I've seen you close sellers, you don't lowball them to a point. You basically make them lowball themselves. And we're going to share exactly the formula, the secrets of actually how we do this. It's going to be amazing. So I'm excited for it. Are you pumped up?
I'm super excited.
I'm excited. So what is lowballing to you? Before we break it down, like in your opinion, like what is lowballing?
So the word lowballing, you don't want to use that terminology ever with your sellers, but it is a phrase. Everybody knows what you mean. It doesn't matter what business you're in. So if I'm selling a car, a boat, a house, everyone goes, oh, lowball offer is just like a BS offer that was never like, if he took it, he or she would make a killing. So here's how I define a lowball offer. And by the way, lowball we use internally in our wholesaling groups. You don't want to use it with your customers because it is a derogatory term. So my definition of a lowballing is giving your sellers permission to give you a working price. Why is that important? Because the more, the phrase is like, you're never supposed to give out your price first, right?
Never.
So how do you get your seller to give a price without actually giving them the price you want to pay for it? And that's how the art of lowballing is a true art form. And if you do it right, you will elicit a response to get more information from your seller so you can actually put an offer that works. The days of sellers just giving you a price, they're really, really hard now. So,
and it's more saturated than ever, this business. So like more and more people are like, what's your offer? What's your offer? I got this, and this offer.
Yeah.
Guys, we're about to share it right now. I'm excited. So guys, let's kind of break it a little bit down, but we got the shocked face today, but we got the money, a little emoji. I like the emoji today, but 80% more in your deal. Like, how do you do it? But
let me put it this way.
I'm a little tired here.
If you make an offer and they take it, you're in trouble.
That's the thing.
And that's it. So you never want to be in that situation. So I think today we're going to show you how to protect yourself from that. But you got to wake up, dude.
I'm getting a little tired,
No, don't start yawning, dude, because that stuff's contagious.
I'm telling you right now. There's only one way I can get up here.
I skipped the coffee over my incident last week.
Let's get it going. You ready to go?
Let's go.
Let's cue the intro. Let's go.
Hit it.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, again, they got go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
I'm ready. Let's get it. I'm excited. So guys, if you're ready to change your life today, lowballing yourself, like I'm telling you right now, the methods that we teach today should be the only way you lowball your seller. Like it should be the only way you give offers, because So many people, they give offers the wrong way, and it breaks my heart the way they do it. And it's just from a lack of knowledge. You got people that actually don't close deals. And number one question we always get asked, and this is why we're making this video today. This is why we're sharing all this information. The number one video guys, Zach, my average deal in Port St. Lucie is $10,000, $15,000. Rick, how is your average deal 40, 50, 60? How are you doing $100,000 deals? And the truth is, we're marketing the same list. It is the acquisitions and the dispositions to a point that probably we make 5x more than the average wholesaler in our market, because we know how to lowball sellers. We actually know how to negotiate the sellers the right way to get plus 80%. We'll probably triple the amount that the average wholesaler does, because we know how to approach the sellers the right way. We don't play. We probably go on less appointments than the average wholesaler, because it's quality over quantity. And we're going to break it all down today. But before we get into it, I do want to say this before we get the information on low balling, because this is low balling specific. Go to freewholesaling.com. We share the entire process for acquisitions. The one pretext you need to know before you get into low balling is that's kind of when you have the appointment. Before you go to every single appointment, you need to condition the seller, basically making sure, hey, Mr. Seller, before I go see you at the property, are you ready to make a yes or no decision on selling the property? They do that, you're good to go on this. If you go in and don't condition them, whatever we say is not going to work, because they're just going to say maybe and you're screwed. Now, if you say, you said maybe, but you said you were ready to make a decision, they'll do a lot better. So without further ado, let's kind of break this down. This could be what $500 we sell this for a course, probably sell 1,000 of these. It'd be an easy course to sell. So let's break down exactly how to make 80% plus on your real estate wholesaling deals. Smash that like button, subscribe, guys, if you get any great information, and let's break it down. So number one, we got to ask yourself, what is lowballing? In my opinion, and our opinions are sometimes, they're different sometimes when it comes to wholesaling, but our heart's in the right place for it. But honestly, what I've seen is the art of lowballing is the art of offering a price that you would be uncomfortable asking. That's the way I sort of see lowballing. It's like, lowballing to somebody is different, but if you're uncomfortable giving that price, that's a lowball in my opinion.
Yeah, well, the root of the problem with wholesalers today is you can learn anything from anywhere, and you guys are taking advantage of it right here. So the great thing is we teach you from head to toe at freewholesaling.com for absolutely free. I got nothing to sell you on this. But all these other people are so, think about it. If I'm paying for a coaching course, okay, regardless, I don't care if you're paying $49 or $4,900. And say I have a coach and I go out and try to get a contract, and either I don't get the right price or I get the contract, you are going to be instantly cheered. And I'm here to tell you, on this side, we don't cheer that, because so many people are so excited just to get the contract, like euphoria. Your coach is excited because you take a relief off their back, but you're excited. Hey, I got them to say yes. Well, guess what? Your work has just begun. And what do I mean by that? That yes, because you did not have that uncomfortable conversation. Now you're going to take it to your buyers. You're going to take your contract, and guess what? They're going to say, dude, that's way too tight. And after the third or fourth buyer, you're going to oh my gosh, I got to go back to the seller and ask for a discount. You want to talk about being brutally uncomfortable. Go back to the seller when you already made a commitment in writing. Guys, you're better off having these uncomfortable conversations up front, so you can ensure you make a healthy profit in wholesaling, as opposed to, let's just get the seller to say yes. And how do you get them to say yes? Give them a retail price. Everybody says yes to a retail price.
Everyone.
So our method of doing the lowballing technique is to solicit a response from your seller to get the absolute best price possible without you giving it. See, the key is they have to give it, not you. And you got to find techniques that you can get them to invoke a response.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, lowballing your seller, it's an art, and we're here to teach that art. So,
and the art of just saying, well, you take 20 grand for this house, and dropping your mic or your pen, I promise you, it's just going to get kicked out of the house.
I've seen it. So let's break down some of the points. So what is lowballing? 2 points, being uncomfortable with your thing. So let's kind of break some things down. So why you must be lowballing, and in my opinion, you make more money per deal. You could most likely make an extra at minimum. I call it 80% is conservative. I call it conservative. 80% more money in your wholesaling business. Now, if you run $1 million operation, you'll probably make 1.8 million. I'm being completely honest. Like if you're not lowballing and you actually start doing it, you net so much more money.
Okay. I started out making very, very, not even tiny profits in wholesaling. I was just so happy to get a contract and get it sold to the first cash buyer that was breathing. Dude, I left millions on the table in my first 5 years, like terribly. And now what I see now is why sit there and kill yourself when you have a motivated seller, maximize it, make it a win-win situation, and make sure you help them out the best you can. And the best way you can help them out is by getting it at the lowest price because they've left you a problem and you are making it super convenient for them. Guys, you spend all this time getting these lists, calling these people, talking to them. Take that extra time and get this method done right. I'm telling you, if you ever want to feel like you overpaid for a house, make an offer and have them say yes right away. It means you massively overpaid for the house. Even if you're getting it 30% below market, you probably could have got it at 60, 70% below market.
All the time.
So he's seen it personally. I have, thousands of times. If you do not perfect this art, you're leaving so much money on the table. My goal is everybody watching here, I want to at least double your profit margin. I think that's the minimum we can expect.
Share. So let's kind of break it down. So there's a certain amount of lowballing methods I've seen. And basically the way that you do it, like we just kind of break it down like the way we explain it to our acquisitions people. So what I've seen is we have number one, the first lowball method that this is how basically everyone thinks lowballing works. I call it the straight shooter method. You just straight up lowball. Like you just, 20,000 for the house. That is the worst way that's how people think. Most people watching this video probably think that's how we're going to explain it. And that's not the way. It's the worst way to do it. That's the most common way. It's a low percentage.
So for full disclosure, I occasionally use the straight shooter method. And you know when I do? When I just don't want to do the deal at all. Yeah. If you just want to churn them off automatically, sometimes you go, no way in the world I'm touching it. Like you walk up and go, oh my God, you go 10 grand. And they go, I go, okay, we'll see you later. No, so you can use that method on some of the properties.
But it's a low percentage. And
it's very low percentage.
So it's just funny.
Well, that's the effect because only like 1 out of 1,000 will take it.
So like that's the straight shooter, worst one. But the ones we're going to teach, we'll teach the straight shooter one. Whatever. But like, let's break down the most important ones. So number 2 is your favorite, like the Volley Method.
I really need to come up with a better word, better terminology for it. You might as well just call it the Rick Method.
Call it the Rick, whatever you want.
But the full disclosure, I didn't invent this method. No. I just perfected
and we'll break it down a little later, like the Volley Method.
It works incredibly.
It works incredibly.
It's actually one of the smartest things I've ever seen instituted in real estate.
It's insane. So that's number 2. Number 3 is going to be my personal favorite. You like the Volley, which I do all the time, but like the good partner, bad partner, that is my favorite one.
Why am I always the bad one?
Because you're never on the appointment. Now, if you're on the appointment, I could be the bad partner, right? Like the bad partner is always the one that's never on the appointment. Good partner, so
I get it.
The good partner, bad partner method guarantees you usually never get kicked out of the house for lowballing. It is almost 100% guaranteed.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to share it. It's fun. And really, the last one, which kind of is for all of them to a point, but it's kind of go for no. We'll talk about a little more about that, but like the go for no, huge. And this is the part of acquisitions that we're excited to teach. And it's just so many people watching us, that they don't do. And it breaks my heart. It really, truly breaks my heart. They don't. And that's why we're trying to change the game here, So let's kind of break down the first one. This is going to be the straight shooter, right? It's no special delivery to it, right? You kind of get to the point. There's no pizzazz, right? The thing about giving a lowball offer, the offer should be like 5% of your effort. It's the way you present it is the most important part, right? You've been in these places. I've been in these places like, you're going out to a nice dinner, with someone and there's like, it's like $200 for the meal and the meal tastes fine. Yeah. It's the presentation that's like that. That's the most important part, right? And the ambiance, like And that's the way you got to look at the like lowballing offers. It's all about the way you present it. The product's going to be terrible to lowball, but the way you present it. So straight shooter, I mean, hey, Mr. Seller, would you take 20,000 for the house? And you know, that takes 60, right? Not the best. I mean, the way you could salvage that if you were going to do it was like, oh, I need to, you kind of do the volley like, oh, I need to sell for 100. Well, can you do 20? And it's like, no. Well, why don't we meet in the middle? That sort of works, right? Like I kind of talked about this yesterday of like the 3 phases of selling, especially with sellers. They go off of 3 phases. Most of them go off of emotion. So it's emotion, logic, fear. And most of them will go off of logic. Most of them will go out. Most of them will go after emotion.
Mm-hmm.
They get emotion about the house. They make that decision to sell based on emotion. Some people don't do that. Sometimes they make the decision based off of logic. How you beat that is say, hey, you're at this price, I'm at this price. Let's meet in the middle. That's logical, right? And then fear is like, hey, this offer is good for 4 hours. Yeah. And then boom. And that's how, when it comes to sales, like you sell anything in life, those are the 3 things. And that's it. Amazon, they're mostly logical. Yeah. Hey, get in 2 days, right?
So in this first method, listen, I know a lot of people do it. Like a lot of people do it by default. And although I tell you, wholesaling is not really a sales job, it is a presentation job. This method, you're basically a McDonald's order taker, in my opinion. You're just throwing stuff out, see if it sticks, and you're going to have to do an incredible amount of volume to get good deals doing that. So
you know something I noticed with offers and acquisitions? You're basically an actor to a point. Like you're acting out lines to a scene and a script, and it's true. But like you know your lines so well, it works really good. You know.
Guys, when you walk in to meet with a seller, especially a motivated seller, you're on point from the minute you put your foot over. And listen, I'm not telling you not to be authentic or anything. Actually, you just got to be the best version of yourself, and you have to present it. And number one, you know, we kind of kid around with our warm-up video and stuff like that. People like just energy and enthusiasm. So those of you that are younger doing this, you don't have my 20 years experience, you don't have his 5 years. I'm here to tell you, but you should have excitement, enthusiasm. Like that doesn't take experience at all.
I mean, here's another thing about lowballing, which we're doing a full thing on lowballing. So if you're here for like a 10-minute video on lowballing, no, we're teaching the art of lowballing a seller. We're getting the nitty gritty on this, like the stuff you need to know. This is stuff they don't teach in the mastermind things because these people don't close. Here's the thing I found with lowballing too. If you've ever, for my people that play video games, I'm sorry, but like it's the truth. You play a video game, like let's say you play like Fallout 4 and you do the dialogue thing and you click a button when you do the dialogue. And the way it works is like, depending on your level on your character, there is a 20% chance you convince someone in the video, the NPC to like do something, or there's like an 80% chance. And you think that percentage, so if there's a percentage chance that you give a low ball offer to that seller and they take the offer or not, I look at it as a percentage from 0 to 100. If you have no rapport, you're bland, you're boring, like you don't really care, you don't have no rapport, the chance you're getting a deal is like 30%, right? Unless there's drastic motivation. Now, if I shook your hand, looked you in the eye, we laughed, cried, joked, we talked about your fishing tournament trophies, we went over to your favorite book, we had the same sports team, we're laughing, we're like best friends, that 30% probably goes to like 70 to 80% because people want to be with people that are like them and people they like. And how does somebody make a decision if they like somebody or not? Either they respect them or that they're like them. For example, like, I don't know, like I'm trying to think of like an example I think is really cool. Like, I don't know, if I try to hang out with like Dwayne Wade or something, we probably have a different personality. I respect him so much that I just like that guy, you know?
Yeah.
But we don't have a similar personality. Now, if I go to someone who's like one of my friends who has very similar personality to me, that people like, so you're probably not getting the respect from your seller, you know, as a respectful business person. But if you kind of act like them to a point, or like you kind of take on a chameleon, they'll like you too. So before I just say like the straight shooter, if you have all this rapport, you could make it work.
Yeah, I mean, well, this one's not on rapport building, but rapport building, it's just your ability to connect with people. And I will tell you, your first 5 minutes and last 5 minutes will make the biggest impact on their decision if they go with you or not. Everything else is kind of forgotten in between. It doesn't mean it's not important, But I'm just telling you, that first 5 minutes and last 5 minutes, it's absolutely everything. I mean, it truly is. And I want you people to understand that if you'll put the time and effort into this part of it and get past and make these awkward, uncomfortable offers, it gives you so much room on the back end to sell your contracts and have options and do it. If you just get a yes right off the bat and you overpaid for it, you're going to have to you could spend hundreds of hours trying to fix this deal.
Yeah.
When in fact, you could have taken an extra 20, 30 minutes, just had that conversation. Guys, I promise you, the worst they say to you is no, I won't take it.
Oh.
But remember, it's about what they say back to you that's important when you do the lowball offer.
And that's the honest truth. So straight shooter method, not my favorite. Let's break down the most important part here. And let's talk about the volley method.
Mhm.
And the volley method, why it's called the volley method, it's kind of just like playing volleyball. You know, what do you do when you play volleyball? It's like, you give it to me. Oh, hit it. You hit it. I hit it back. So like, you're just hitting it back and forth. Think like tennis, right? You give me the ball. I hit it back over the fence, hit it back.
It's instinct. So
yeah.
if I serve you a ball, it's going to be your gut instinct to throw it back to me. So if I like throw you a tennis ball, you're probably just going to throw it back to me. Well, at some point, somebody has to start and stop that volley. Okay.
And what's the ball? Who's going to offer first?
Correct. So the challenge in real estate is we always say, hey, listen, ideally, you don't want to give the first offer. Not the end of the world. Like I don't get hung up on that one, but I will tell you, if you make the first offer, you're at a little bit of a disadvantage. So Rick, how do I get an offer from the motivated seller when they don't know it and you don't want me to give an offer? And this is the perfect plug and play to do this. It's called the Volley Method. And all you are is giving permission for the seller to give you an answer. And the real goal of it is to elicit response to get more information so you can structure an offer. The worst answer in the world in sales, if you go, Zach, will you take $100,000 for this house?
Yes.
That is.
That's
but
the worst one.
if he just says no too, where do I go from there? I have no information. Like, what do I do? So if I do the Volley Method, I say, hey, listen, Zach, I've looked around the house. It's pretty cool. I mean, it needs some work. I definitely got the cash ready to forgo it. What is it you need to get out of this house? Like what number you need to just kind of move on with your life?
I don't know. You're the expert. You should tell me.
Well, you know what? That's right. And I'm here to help you out. But Zach, I know you don't know, but if you did know, what do you think a ballpark price for that thing would be? Just an idea. I'm giving you.
I just don't know.
I'll tell you what, Zach, I'll make it super easy for you. Just give me a ballpark range. Just give me an idea. And you know what? I'm not even holding it against you. I know you've probably thought about this. Give me a ballpark range. And so I'm giving you a range right now.
I mean, do you have an offer?
I don't have an offer. Zach, I want to find the number that makes you comfortable. So I'm asking you, what do you think a range is? I know you know the exact price, but just kind of give me a range. Give me a number and let's see if we can do something together.
And you see, at this point, I'm like 80,000.
So here's what's going to happen at this point. Either he's going to spit a number out going, listen, like I can't go lower than 80,000. Like you're going to put me in like a bad position. Or he's going to go, listen, I spoke to my wife and we've been arguing about the condition of the roof in the backyard. And what's that do? That gives me something to go after, to explore deeper, to see what the problem is. Yeah. Okay. He's worried about the roof in the backyard on like the price. So now I can push on it and explore it. You don't want to be asking yes, no questions at the time. This is what we traditionally call like a trial close.
Yeah.
So as I test it out, the worst is I say, hey, Zach, what do you need to get for the house? And he goes like this. I don't know.
Most wholesalers freak out.
So let me tell you this. Human nature is, and I've learned this through a lot of sales courses, okay? Humans on average can only deal with two objections. If you can overcome any two objections, they fold. Think about when you get sold something like that. Yeah. So the idea is he gives me one objection and I just go, listen, Zach, I know you don't know, but if you did know, what do you think that price would be? Guys, all I did was take his objection and I turned down and repeat it and I gave him permission to answer it. I didn't really to be honest with you, I didn't answer any questions. I just
No.
threw it back over his court, and I'm going to keep volleying until I get an illicit response for him to either give me a price or give me more information so I can expand on it. The only reason people ever turn down your offer, don't ever forget this, is because they don't have enough information about you or they're very uncomfortable with you.
It's true.
You have to ask probing questions to get to those answers. And what happens after 2 objections, people get frustrated. Like, how do I shut this guy up from asking these ridiculous questions?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a lawyer. If you've ever been through a deposition, so a lawyer will ask you the same question 19 different times.
In 19 different ways.
But listen, you're not here to piss off your seller. You've got to make them happy.
Yeah.
But you got to get it out there. I've probably maybe had 25 people in my entire career. Honestly, they did not know what the value of the house was and they couldn't come up with a number. So like, and they're usually little old ladies, and that's where you bring in a family or a lawyer person to help them out. But guys, overcome the objection twice and you will own them. I'm just telling you. And by the way, be careful and use this on your spouse because they will catch on to you after about 2 or 3 weeks.
For a seller.
And then they'll start doing it back to you. And the classic one is like, hey, where do you want to go to eat tonight?
Oh, don't do that.
I don't know, honey, but if you did know, where would you want to go? And she's like, don't use that stuff.
That's not a good one to use.
Guys, the Volley Method is like perfect because we get in that you get in this awkward conversation with people going, did he just answer me or not? Now, here's the key to the Volley Method. When you ask the question, shut your mouth and don't say one word until they respond. Otherwise, you're basically going to the other side of the net and you're serving back yourself. You're wasting time. You need to elicit a response. The whole point of the Volley Method is to get your seller to spit out more information so you can give the best educated price for a win-win situation. That's it.
It works all the time. So that is the Volley Method. That's a good one. Now, one other method I do want to include that it's very similar to the Volley Method, so I'm not going to like put it in the slide, but I call it the dollar bill method. And that's kind of the same way where it's riskier, I guess, to a point, but it's a one you can use, whatever one you're comfortable with. So if you're basically say, oh, I don't know how much I'm going to sell the property for, and then I'm going to laugh to a point and say, well, I mean, are you sure you don't know? No, I don't know. And then if you don't want to volley, you could do this. Well, Mr. Seller, you might get some report phrases, but like, would you be okay if I just bought this house for $1? That's so ridiculous. Because if you do a straight shooter, they think you're serious when you lowball them, and they'll get upset. Now, $1 is like it's so comical that it can't even be taken seriously.
Yeah.
But if you take it like, oh no, I can't do $1. Well, you never gave me a price, so I got $1. We can write up the paperwork if you want. I'd love to buy this thing for $1.
They can counteract and go, okay, I want $1 million.
Yeah,
like,
see,
we didn't get any further here.
That happens all the time too.
So let me teach you a little technique. When you have to get that point to make your offer, like say you volleyed and it failed. Occasionally it does, but for the most part, it rarely does. So Zach's not giving me a price. I'm now going to look at Zach in the eye. I got a really low ball offer number in my head. Maybe the house is worth like $170. And I go, so this creates stress and tension. Okay. It's like it's like a negative and a positive charge. And everybody feels tense. So let me know in the comments if you feel tense when you kind of make these offers. And here's what happens is your seller will actually feel bad for you sometimes. It's ridiculous. So what you do is put the stress on yourself. So we call it kind of the scrunchy face. So when you make an offer, you just go like this, go, I'm trying to get a number at you. Like, I'm just trying to get things to work here. Maybe I've done the Volley Method 4 or 5 times and like it's worn its path. Actually, listen, Zach, and I have a number. I'm like, I got to start somewhere. How about I just start with what's in my bank account? I got like 55 grand. Is it something you're even open to? Or like, should we just forget about it? Then shut up. Now I'm going to watch his reaction. And the most important thing I'm going to watch is the tonality of his voice, his mouth, and his eyes. If they do this and they look up, throw their hands up, it's going to be a brutal fight.
Oh yeah.
But if they nod their head in any type of thing and they don't look up and they look down, 9 times out of 10, you can get a deal started. Now, if they go, are you absolutely nuts, Rick? No, I didn't think so. I just told you what was in my bank account. That was it. So you can save face and rewind on it. That's only like a last resort because Guys, if you plan on paying up to 100 grand, if you start at 100 grand, where are you going to go from there? Human nature is always to ask for more. So you have to ask for less.
All the time. And it's insane. But I'm telling you, the Volley Method, probably one of my favorite ones. It's probably the top one on here, but it's a great one. So let's kind of break down. We got a lot of people on here, guys. Really appreciate everyone hopping on today. Just remember, hit that like button and subscribe or watching this. Give this all for free. Now, here's my personal favorite. This is the good partner, bad partner.
Yeah.
All right. I love this one because you're basically putting the blame on the bad partner. And it's really like the best part about it is like the bad partner is conveniently never there, and that's the problem. It's good cop, bad cop, right? This is kind of a interrogation tactic, right? That we've kind of put for our wholesaling business, and it works really well. It's sort of like a trial close you can put on there too. So the way I explain it is, I always love blaming you for everything on the appointments, right? And the way it basically says, hey, we looked at everything here. I know you want to sell for $100,000, Mr. Seller, and that might be a good price, but I was talking to Rick over the phone about the house, and he told me that he's looking to buy. Put this on here. He told me he wanted to buy this house for like $50,000. And did I offer $50,000 to sell? I just said Rick's $50,000. Mm-hmm. They're going to do two things. They're going to say, "What? No way! Get out of my house!" I didn't offer. That's what he said. Yeah, he's crazy, right? Like but you could say that, or they could say $50,000. Okay, and then hey, right? And the thing is, you could always get out of that because you never offered that. Rick just casually said that in a conversation, and it works really well. And what you can also do when it goes logical, no, 50,000, no way. I'm doing 100. Okay, well, 100 seems a little too high. I mean, what do you really offer? Well, he's at 50. You're at 100. Let's just meet at the middle in 75. And that there's a deal at 100. It works, right? And that's logical. It makes sense. It seems agreeable, right? I'm telling you, the good partner, bad partner works all the time. And you can also use the good partner, bad partner on a lot of things. Like, for example, hey, did you go buy the property over? Oh, my partner didn't send it. Like, you could just, whatever thing bad happens, just blame it on your partner who's never there. It always works good, right? And the cool part about the good partner, bad partner is, I'm so glad we got this under contract with you. My partner actually wants to come by and look at the house. Yeah. Partnership cash buyer. And now you've already opened up a walkthrough appointment with them. It works perfectly. Or let's say you bring your realtor or handyman through, quote unquote, or your other partner, and now you got to bring your partner Rick. It works perfect. I love that approach.
And guys, keep a method. I know there's an entire book up out there about how not to split the difference. Listen to me. If you ask for a ridiculous low price and they're considering it,
that's the thing.
Stop worrying about splitting it, because you just offered 50,000 less than you thought you were going to ask, and they're asking for like another 5,000. Offer the split. Nobody gives a crap. Like, honestly, it's like they're like, I should never have to split it. Listen, guys, if you're asking for the right discounts, don't worry about the splits.
Chris Foss, great guy. I get to never split the difference, but here's one thing. For example,
that's for realtors.
But here's the thing. If you get ridiculous on it, so let's say I'm trying to do a job as a accountant or whatever, and let's say the average accountant makes like 60, 70,000, and I know the average salary is going to be 70,000. Okay, for this job, whatever. Let's just say a manager at a bank, 100,000 is that's a really good manager at a bank, 100,000, right?
I guess.
And I know never split the difference, right? Well, if I go and negotiate, they're like, starting salary is around 70,000. And I say 100, and then we meet in the middle at 85. Oh no, right? Or I say 130, we meet in the middle, I get 100, right? They're like, most people use 100.
Yeah.
What if you offer me 70 for the job, and I say $4 million? Let's meet in the middle at 2 million. Like, you're what you just said is so ridiculous. Yeah. If you even split the difference, you're way better than the average. Opposite with offers, right? If you get so low, splitting the difference is already way lower than the average person.
I split the difference all the time and make hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Well, if the difference
honestly, it doesn't. If you're
Yeah.
going in at the right low price, splitting the difference is a joke at the end. To me, splitting the difference is somewhat of a stance. Like if you're selling a product, like if I was a coach, my product's $5,000. I'm not like splitting the difference or doing. I need that money to pay my family to teach you what I don't do anymore. But anyways, what I'm telling you is like splitting the difference is, I mean, it's a good idea book, but to me, it's when you get down to like a product, a service, or anything like that. It doesn't. I don't think it's really rational for wholesaling
No.
at the prices at least we ask for, because it's. Are you willing to walk away from like $5,000 over a $50,000 profit because you didn't split it exactly down the middle? It's ridiculous.
So good partner, bad partner. It's like a trial close. I love it. It works really well. You guys, if you're just watching, like, I hope you're starting to figure out in your mind, like, I don't have to just do like make these $5,000-$10,000. Like, you start doing this stuff, things start clicking in your brain. You start making 20, 25, 30, 40,000. Like, it's like a second nature to us to offer this stuff. So just FYI for you guys out here. The next and probably last part is like the go for no. This is technically not a lowball strategy, but it's something I think when you're lowballing, it could be a strategy. Is every single offer you give should always have a no. You have to go for the no, right?
Yeah, because the whole point of it is to try to find your seller's bottom line and get an illicit response form of like what they're thinking in their head. Because if you don't know it, you don't want to put it in their head. And obviously, if Zach will give me a number what he needs to sell for, I know how I can walk through it and get it. So like the worst thing you do, long time ago when I started Zach out training once, I was in a rush and we were trying to take down a property, and I made the classic error. This is what happens when you don't go out on appointments anymore. Is I just made an offer. Now I made an offer from a back end guy running the finance. I'm like, let me just throw out a number. I threw out a number I thought was low. And the guy just put his hand out and shook it right there. And I remember telling Zach right at the time, I go, don't ever do what I just did. I go, we just left 40, 50 grand on the table. He's like, I can't believe it. So guys, go for the no allows you to get a bottom line response and get more information. Because remember, the only reason your sellers say no to you is because they don't have enough information or they just flat out don't like you. And I know they like you, so we're going to get past that one. So they need more information from you. So it's a simple book out there. It's called Go for No. It's Richard Fenton wrote it. It's like a 20-minute read, and it actually has nothing to do with real estate, but it talks about the philosophy of why you want to go for no. I'd like to tell you I came up with it, and the idea is once you understand that,
Yeah,
it's you can do so much more with sales when you know where you're going with it. And remember, what's in your head, you got to figure out what's in his head. And very rarely do you know, like with your rational logic, what's going on in Zach's head. So the best thing you can do is ask a question that will at least pull some information out of it. And by the way, it is a reaction when I give Zach a low price.
Oh.
It's a reaction. You're like either
down.
What's that?
I think these chairs are down. You can put them up.
I thought it was kind of short.
I know. Me too. I was like, what? Let's give you FYI.
You're not taller than me. Okay,
No, it's
go.
like, wait, all right, sorry about that.
Anyways, guys, go for no. It will literally change how you do wholesaling. You're not looking for like, I'm going to get kicked out of the house type of no. We've already given you like clues on how to do it. The scrunchy face, put the tension and the stress on you.
Yeah.
And then whenever I ask a question that elicits a response, the minute I ask it, I'm in like a hyper focus from your eyes to your mouth to your tonality. And guys, 70% of this game in sales is all about physicality.
I agree.
That's why you're a little bit more disadvantaged on virtual marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to become even more hyper focused on the phones. And if you don't have the ability to record your phone calls, it'll help you out, especially virtually. But guys, when I spit out that offer and I know it's a go for no, I know what's coming back. I know it's not going to be like, yes. I'm in trouble if he said yes, it means I'm offering too much.
Yeah.
But he's going to like, listen, Rick, I can't go that low. I talked to my wife. She ain't going below 65. I just got in his subconscious and he just spit it out. Whereas I asked Zach, give me your bottom line number and give me the lowest number you'll take. When I learned this business, you know what the go-to line was by default? if I paid you all cash and close quickly, what's the lowest price you'll give me? And
Yeah.
we keep asking it over and over until you gave me the question. Try it now, you'll get kicked out of the house.
I know it's a different world out there, but like that's how you gotta be lowballing now. Like it's crazy. And just remember, what's the worst that can happen, right? Like you got to look at it, right?
I have a few more on that list, but
there's yes, but like the seller kicks you out, they curse you. If you shift the blame on the partner, very hard. The worst case scenario happens.
Yeah,
I mean, human beings are unpredictable, right? But like
you always got to be the seller's advocate.
So like, what's the worst that can happen? It's just like the seller kicks. Like, let's say worst case scenario, the seller kicks you out. Like, I'm just right.
I've been kicked out. I just for full.
It's
disclosure,
never fun.
But you know what?
But it's like
honestly, if they kick you out, that means you're so far apart in the number. They just saved you a ton of time, and very rarely, like some people are just difficult.
No, yeah. So guys, at the end of the day, like that's how you lowball your seller. Like that is the art of lowballing sellers. In my personal opinion, everyone should be doing that.
Just don't use lowball with your sellers. If you guys want me to should put the Rick Ginn method on there, but I don't like doing that.
Call it whatever method.
Like I didn't invent these methods, guys. I've spent time perfecting the craft.
Yeah.
All this stuff has been handed down to me at some point. Just like everybody in real estate had to learn it from somebody else.
And one thing I found out is saying these lines, especially me starting out, it's never natural. You have to do it so many times before it's like second nature to you, right?
And that leads us to this. You guys have to practice this stuff.
Yeah.
You practicing on actual live leads is going to cost you a fortune.
Yeah.
So how do you do it? Just find FSBOs in your area, do the Zillow for sale by owners, practice with family, like these conversations. Tell your family, go, listen, I'm going to try to make you an offer and like, don't make it easy.
Yeah.
And just keep going and try the Volley Method. See how many times you can get going. Here's the key with the Volley Method. At some point, someone will get frustrated and do something.
Yeah.
But usually after the second or third time, you're completely in. But you need to try it. So why I use the word volley is because if you can visualize, I serve, I'm going to shut my mouth till Zach serves back.
Yeah.
Oh, he served back. I got to keep this ball alive. And so they're just touch and goes. You can't go on a 10-minute rant doing the Volley Method. You're complete. Hey, that's great. I got it's like a hot potato. Let me throw it back to you and just shut up until he goes.
Yeah.
And eventually he's going to give you the information you need. And you've got to use that. And so while you're doing that, as you practice, now I can start watching Zach's eyes. I can watch his mouth. I can watch his tonality. Guys, if you truly want to understand sales and stuff, there's so much stuff on the internet. Psychology of people. People have tendencies. So if you guys are married, you have parents or anything like that, get in a heated debate with them and just watch their eyes and start recording. I can tell you this. Hopefully my wife's not watching. I can tell you if we ever get in a heated debate, which way her eyes go up, what she's thinking of what I'm doing wrong.
She's definitely watching this.
Well, I could do it. I got what, 28 years with the woman. Like I'm just telling you, learn people. Now, motivated sellers, you're not going to spend 25 years with them, but over a 25-year period, they will all have the exact same tendencies for the most part. And once you go, okay, now I know how to deliver the message. Now I'm going to watch for the physical cues because it's 70% of how people react in sales. Then you become a master and you can get these giant spreads.
And that's it, guys. So that's how you lowball, basically do lowball offers. That's how you make more on each deal. And that's the honest truth. So guys, let's talk to some of the people, guys. Everyone knows Wednesday, Thursdays, we do our wholesaling houses for real mastermind calls or one-on-one calls. Everyone asks, how do I get in front of the call? How do I get those calls, right? All you got to do is join the mastermind. Again, we run the largest mastermind for wholesaling real estate in the entire country. And we also have the largest wholesaling real estate Facebook group in the country by active members. Active members.
We didn't collect them over 10 years.
No, I mean, literally, this is the largest Facebook group by active people in it. Almost got 42,000. That's insane.
It's crazy. And how long have we had it up and running?
Like almost a year. Like it's over a year, but like almost a year and a half. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. So it's a huge mastermind. I'm telling you, the mastermind, like I should charge 10K just for the one-on-ones we do, like, right? And it's crazy. So one thing I would tell you guys too is on this YouTube channel, we have multiple YouTube channels now. We have the Flip with Rick YouTube channel, which is our main one, right? The best information, like the crisp info, like the best info is always going to be on the Flip with Rick channel. It's going to have exclusive Rick Ginn content on here, videos from him that you'll never see anywhere else. And then we have the Zach Ginn channel, which is also under just our stuff. And that's just videos from me. And then we also have a third YouTube channel. Now we have another YouTube channel. It's the Rick Ginn channel. We're working on that too. Some Rick Ginn stuff's on there. That's kind of in the future too. But like right now, I would say we can't post enough content on the Zach Ginn Flip with Rick. We can't post enough.
Yeah.
We post one video per day, just how the algorithm works. We post one video a day. And then we also post 3 shorts a day on the Zach Ginn and the Flip with Rick channel. So the Rick Ginn channel for Flip with Rick, and then the Zach Ginn channel. The problem is there's so much gold nuggets we give out. And for example, we do this is like 2-hour plus lives we do, right? Not everyone has 2 hours every single day for 4 days straight to watch our stuff. That's all I get. It's a lot. The people that need the information. Yes. Right. So what we have is for the Mastermind, which are Wednesday, Thursdays, to get the link to talk to us one-on-one, you have to be in the Mastermind. It's on the featured. You actually have to go over there. But so what I've done is we've kind of created a third channel, technically a fourth if you want to think it. It's called Wholesaling Houses for Real. And basically, this will be basically kind of a clips channel more or less. But basically what we're going to do is, shout out to Justin here. We basically do a clips and the gold nuggets that we talk about on our coaching calls that we just shared out to people, for the people that, they don't have enough time to watch the 2-hour live. So that's Wholesaling Houses for Real. Eventually in the future, we're going to have some people on our Mastermind. They can post videos on there. This is just for the Mastermind. So it's going to be kind of cool. So everyone should subscribe to that if you want. But remember, guys, it is the Flip with Rick is where all the lives are going to be at. So always go there. Yeah. But the link's in the comment just for the people that who are crazy enough that consume all of our content, that want more. I don't know if there's possibly any more, but there is, because I'm telling you right now, our goal here when we started out was to give everything for free and then to post more wholesaling content, valuable wholesaling content than any other YouTuber out here, coach, guru. Like, we're destroying them because, number one thing, why do we post so much? Why? We have all these channels. We post more than one a day on each one. Why? Because we don't spend 8 hours a day on Zooms on our $5,000. Like, because people pay us $5,000. We have plenty of time to do our stuff, right?
Yeah, we do our wholesaling, and then we share with you what works in our business. Take my 20 years experience, Zach's 5. And so you're not just, getting, oh my God, this guy's been in the business 20 years. I can't relate with him. Yeah. I took him from scratch. And guys, I still remember the day I started. I literally freaked out. And, here I am 20 years later. I'm just telling you, man, it goes by in a blink. And if your why is strong enough and you want to make this business work and you truly want financial and freedom of time, wholesaling's a great place to get it going.
That's it. So check out Wholesaling Houses for Real. So if you want to get crazy on it, if you're on Flip with Rick, just go to the channels bar. It'll show all the channels that are under our sort of umbrella of free wholesaling stuff. So it is officially the Flip with Rick channel, Zach Ginn channel. There's a channel called Rick Ginn you should do. You got some old videos of you on there from like 5-6 years ago.
I might post some of like really old school stuff.
No, but you have old school stuff on there, like the handwritten postcard.
I used to have UPS truck too.
Yeah, you did the probate live from like 6 years ago on there. We're gonna work on that one too, and then Wholesaling Houses for Real. So those are our 4. Literally have 4 channels now. It's getting crazy, but
it's fun. But you can go and kind of find the information that you want to do that day. And the idea is to find out as many ways as we can interact with you guys. So having a few more channels just gives you more opportunities.
Yeah, it's just there can never be enough content on it. So let's break down and talk to the people one-on-one here and try to see how we can help the people out today. So number one, we got the man from Orange County.
What's up, you guys?
What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Glad to be on here again.
Guy's got like a permanent smile on his
Daniel
face.
Always has a smile on his face. He's always happy. We love it.
I got to do a shakedown of Daniel's room. So
I try being nice. Okay.
So, what's up, man? How are you? How can we help you become a better wholesaler today?
Yeah. So basically what's going on today, funny how you guys were talking about the whole lowball offers and stuff like that. Killing me, man. I actually needed that information because exactly what Rick was talking about, how he told, hey, Zach, never do that. That's exactly what I just did. Yesterday, I was talking to a seller and basically at first he wanted the property to go somewhere around 230. He told me his price, right?
Mm-hmm.
So me being the newbie wholesaler that I am, I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna just say 200. I'm not gonna be too cheap, right? I'm not gonna be too cheap, but I'm also not gonna be too expensive. So I'm just gonna say 200. I said 200, and he said, okay, yeah, that's fine, right?
Yeah.
And then right after that, I think he called me back, and he's all like, you know what? I need something above 200. I can't just do 200. So we went back and forth from 200 to 215. And finally, last number, he just called me 10 minutes ago. We've been talking for the past 2 days. And 10 minutes ago, he called me. He said, okay, 210 is fine. So we came to an establishment at 210. I have to go on an appointment tomorrow all the way to Daytona Beach to actually go look at the property. You know what's cool about this property? This property needs a lot of work. So I feel like at the appointment, I could probably still bring him down, even though we came to an establishment. But I came here for your guys' help. I will tell you the address and I could tell you the repairs that's needed. Maybe you guys could do a comp. You know what I did? Before I even talked to my buyer, I'm like, do I have a deal? What I did was I called my title company and I said, listen, dude, I'm a newbie wholesaler. I don't want to waste your guys' time. I don't want to waste my buyer's time. I don't want to waste time. So and he's all like, don't worry, Danny, I'll comp it out for you. I'll tell you what you should get paid, right?
Title company?
Huh?
Title company comping it?
Title company comped it for me, yeah.
Okay.
So the title company goes, I give him the address. He comps it. He's like, Danny, look, honestly, you locked it up at what price? I'm like 210. He's like, honestly, I would offload it like at 230, 245 is what I'm looking at. So you should get paid 10 to 15 grand, even if you have it locked up at 210.
Okay. Well, if he comped it.
He told me, I don't know. I still feel like I'm still too high, you know?
Well, Daniel, like, here's one thing you got to understand about comping offers that like you're never going to be perfect on them.
Yeah,
Never,
we still make mistakes.
Yeah.
Like everybody thinks wholesalers have like this, like they're so confident they make.
Yeah,
dude. So we screw it up. You know, when we screw it up, we admit it, and we go fix the problem, or we get out of the contract.
Yeah.
Like when you bury your head in the sand, you go, "I didn't make a mistake," and you keep doubling down. That's the fastest way to get driven out of this business. So you've made the classic mistake that most wholesalers. You threw out a number that you thought, like, okay, this is close enough to get me a yes. I'm telling you, there's always a lot of complexities that come with a deal.
Yeah.
You got to have as much room as humanly possible.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think you get a better price when you go out and look at it. But like we're in like unwritten times right now. Like this is crazy stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I just want you to remember going forward, even if the deal doesn't work out, you walk away with a lesson. Like life is a lot different than school is. Lessons. You should prosper from lessons and go, okay, I'm going to make a lot more money next time because I know I'm not going to do that mistake. It's burned in your DNA.
Yes, sir.
When you go to make that offer, you're going to make, here's an easy one. If you guys go, well, I can't figure out how to do it. I would have made an offer 200.
Yes, sir.
Minus off 35, 40,000, whatever offer you're going to do. So if you were thinking 200, offer the guy $160.
$160.
Like,
I know.
Get rid of your decision. Now I'm going to show my age here.
Okay.
You ever watch any of the old Seinfeld episodes? Seinfeld. Yeah. Okay. But anyways, there's a character on there called George Costanza. Everything he does is wrong. Like he's unemployed. Every decision he makes. And one day he comes up, he goes, I'm just going to do the opposite of whatever I thought I was going to do. And his life worked out perfectly.
Oh my God.
But what I'm telling you is take like 25, 30 grand off of whatever number you're going to offer and just minus it off like it's a computer. And that way you won't make that mistake.
And
again.
Daniel.
Yes.
Yeah. You can offer it, but do this, ready? Hey, my partner Zach was looking. He told me 160.
Yeah.
Or you can kind of set it up.
Or if you're your partner Rick.
Can I tell you guys something? There's a big problem, you guys. I'm gonna tell you the caveat on this one. So basically, this guy told me, he's all like, hey, look, if you're gonna buy the deal from me, I need you to put $5 grand down on earnest money, right? Or you need to put a $5 grand down deposit. I'm like, I don't have $5 grand, right? But I talked to a buyer not too long ago. to a partner, like a friend of mine. His name is Ryan. He's not trying to buy the deal, but he told me, hey, dude, listen, if you ever have a seller telling you, hey, you need to put $5,000 to $8,000 down on it, I'll do that for you. Just bring me with you on the deal and we'll JV on it, right? Now, him and his wife gave me the list. They gave me a list to call, right? I called that list. This is where that deal came from, right?
Okay.
So they trusted me to call this list and get the deal. So I called the list. I got a deal out of it. Now we're going to go on an appointment tomorrow. This is what's the scary thing about it, you guys. I'm scared because I was talking to him over the phone that he might use his contracts instead of mine. And I think that's what he's planning to do. Then I'm going to lose total control of the deal. And I don't want to get screwed.
The one in Daytona?
Yes, sir.
Well, did you condition the seller?
What do you mean?
Did you condition the seller? Are they ready to make a yes or no decision?
They're ready to like, dude, they're ready to sign once I get there. Like,
okay. Did he say we got to use my contract?
He did not say that, but I told him, hey, listen, I'm going to print out some contracts on the way. I sent one via DocuSign, but if he doesn't sign those right now while I'm waiting, I sent the contract out a long time ago. If he doesn't sign those, I'm going to make him sign at the property, right? But I don't want him to sign my partner's contracts, because then my partner has the ability to take that to his title company. Then I lose control of the deal, you know?
So here's the thing. First of all, don't ever say the C word in front of the seller. Contract.
Okay. Agreement.
Say that.
Yeah, sir.
You got to understand, you just gave out your hand. Never, ever show the seller a contract unless they're willing to sign right there, or you have them over the phone. Ever.
And then really, like with the whole partner thing, that's something you're going to have to work out on your own, because I can't give you, like, it gets gray. It's like, listen, I get it. The guy gave you the list. They're trying to support you on the deposit. I tell everybody who watches this channel, you guys got to have a game plan, because sellers are getting more and more educated on how we work. And they just want to know that you're going to get the deal done. Your goal is to get the deal done. You want to help them out.
Yeah.
They want to deposit. You're at least admitting you don't have the money. So you always want to have the ability to close on the properties for the what if scenario. And you got to iron some of those agreements out front, like details on the types of contracts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or your guy's going to well, how am I protected? And then the bigger question is how much does he or she profit from you if you partner? Do you have a JV agreement? Because here's what happens. Once the contract gets signed with the person in control, if you don't have a really good relationship with them, which is me and him don't really worry about it. We're family, but I'm telling you, man, that's where all the I once did a deal for a $3 million property. I brought in a cash partner, just like you're talking about. I just didn't have the money at the time. I was much younger.
Yeah.
And I gave up complete control.
Yeah.
At the end, I had to hire an attorney and go to court and fight for everything, and it cost me $50,000 to fight to get my money out of it. It was a nightmare.
What I'm planning to do. I'm should I just be a nice guy? Look, I'm not going to waste him and his wife's time. Whatever. I'm just going to and hopefully I get. I don't know if that's a good idea. But I'm a nice guy.
I don't know. You got to talk to them. If they gave you the list and stuff like that, sounds like they're trying to help you out. But you have the details to the relationship. I don't.
Yeah.
So remember how we talk about having awkward, uncomfortable conversations? I would get it way out in front and get done, because when money's on the line, that's when people get very squirrely. If they have a bad character in them, it's going to come out on the stage, and you ain't gonna like it. So I'm just telling you, is a conversation up front.
Is the JV agreement, is it kind of like a purchase and sale, but it's just with me and my partner on it, or is that something after you get your?
It would be with the partner after you get it locked up. Here's the thing with this appointment. It's kind of a mess. I would have. This is you have a knot that's tangled. You just got to untangle the knot. You can't get out of this. What you just did. But what you should do in the future is, first of all, never say contract, never send over DocuSign unless they're willing to sign.
Okay. Now,
you did it right the way. You sent them DocuSign. When you sent him over that DocuSign, did you ask if he was ready to make a yes or no decision on selling?
I told him, I'm hey, look, if I'm going to send it, just sign it, send it back so I could go on the appointment. I don't want to drive out there 2 hours and you're not signing it.
That's a no. Unfortunately, you didn't ask him.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Are you ready right now to make a yes or no decision on selling it?
I did. I did not do that. No,
or you can do this. You can have them go, listen, do me a favor. If you go ahead and sign the DocuSign, I'll still come out there and look at it, and then we'll sign the papers in person too. That way, because if he ain't going to sign a DocuSign, you could be wasting a day's trip.
But here's the thing. our acquisitions managers, they are never allowed to go on an appointment or talk to a seller, give an offer, give a contract without getting that yes or no decision.
Got you.
That was your main issue here.
Yeah.
Because if you committed to them,
Mhm.
you stay on the phone when you send the DocuSign. If they're a person of their word, like usually they are, they'll sign it there. Now, if you are saying you're ready to make a yes or no decision for me to go meet you at the property, right, Mr. Seller from Daytona, I would say this: hey, what's the one thing we do before we go on the appointments? We basically tell them what's going to happen so they feel comfortable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I would say is like, hey, Mr. Seller, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over there. We're going to talk. We're going to look at the house. And if we agree on something, if it's the right fit for me, we'll have an agreement. We'll write it up for me to go buy the house. Is that something you're okay with? Now, if that seller says yes, you're good. You're going to use your contract. Now, if they say, no, I have my own attorney, I use my own contract, then you're going to know. Then you won't waste your time.
Yeah.
Daniel, the problem is I've been in this situation not hundreds of times, but like at least 30 or 40. On the 40th time, I'm like, I'm never doing this again. I'm never driving 2 hours to get a wasted appointment because it's 2 hours back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
I'm always going to get a yes or no decision.
Yeah.
And I'm always going to make sure that they're ready to sell and it's a good offer.
Especially in Florida,
So,
man. I don't know
Daniel,
why.
Unfortunately, you haven't hit that point where you're so sick of driving on wasted appointments that you're going to make the yes or no decision. The question is, are you going to start doing this, the yes or no decision, or are you going to do so many that you're so sick of it and you finally change?
No, I'll start doing it. It's not worth it because I got stood up before this appointment. I had a seller, it tricked me, tell me to go to a bar, like near a bar, and then I sat there for 3 hours. Sat there for 3 hours, and then he texted me. He's all like, "You just got punked," and I'm like, "Oh,
Daniel." First of all, you meet at the house.
You only meet at the house, dude. Only. That's the only place you know. That's why you don't even want an office. They don't care.
And the only exception to that rule is if you're meeting them at their personal house and it was a rental and you're ready to get something signed.
Yeah.
You meet them at their personal house. The coolest part about that is you can basically pretty much confirm if that's the person talking about it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty simple. And if they sign a fake contract, it's perjury, so it's fine. But like I'm telling you, it's like, how many of those do you want to go through before you're sick of it? And you gotta get that yes or no decision.
See, I didn't have these problems when I started.
Don't go to a bar.
A bar.
I know.
I've signed deals like McDonald's, Starbucks, but never a bar.
So let's go through the rules that you've kind of learned in this. And by the way, Daniel, this is normal. If you think someone just jumps into wholesaling, I don't care if they get free training or like $30,000 training. Everybody makes the mistake at least once. The question is, how many more times do you want to make it?
20 of those. You've done
so. Number one is make that lowball offer, and you know the reason why, because you need room in it in case they want to renegotiate. Number two, make sure you always have an upfront agreement, and make sure they're prepared to make a yes or no decision.
This is perfect. Yeah.
Number three, always try to meet them at the property in question. Or like their primary home. Anywhere else, I've done the bar thing.
Yeah.
I don't drink anymore, but I'm just telling you, like, you can get in an uncomfortable situation quick.
Yeah.
Oh, have a drink with me. You know how that works. It's like, or meet my girlfriend, and you could say something and screw up the whole deal. It has nothing to do with the real estate. It happens all the time. The last but not least is you got to have an upfront agreement. If you don't have the ability to buy these houses, just get your guns loaded. You can start with hard money people and get all their terms and get agreements, because hard money people want to get to know you because they're more interested in your abilities than the property at first.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone says, oh, they just underwrite the property. Dude, I loan money out all the time. I'm telling you, if you don't know what you're doing, I'm not giving you a dime, because we just want to make sure we get our capital back. Profit is second. Okay. Because that's how wealthy people operate.
Oh, yeah.
You got to have the agreement up. Like, you got to figure out how to do your financing, deposits, everything. And then if you're bringing a cash partner, have a predetermined split up front.
Okay.
Sometimes cash partners will come in and like, they're more savvy than they're like, oh my God, there's $100,000 here. I'm like, I'll give you 10 grand, Daniel. You'd be like, they go, well, how'd you come up with that number? You go, you said you'd be fine if you made 10 grand. They do it all the time to beginners. All the time to beginners.
He told me, he's all like, hey, how about we just wait until we're done with the appointment, and then we'll figure out that after,
Well, so that you have to determine that, because you got to look at someone's track record. Have they done everything you've expected of them to, or asked you? And if they haven't violated it, then I think you got to get them on the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
But honestly, when it comes to business, once someone like screws you over,
Yeah.
heed the warning. You know?
Yeah, learn
So-
from it. And should he sign? Should I take control of my purchase and sale and make the seller sign mine, or maybe I should just let him use his purchase and sale? Does it matter? What are we gonna do there?
Yeah, I don't. I have no idea what's his experience level. Like, how long has he
He's
been doing
pretty
the business?
experienced. You know, he has a company called KeyQuest Acquisitions LLC. That's how I got him on Google. Just went on an appointment with him. He bought me lunch, and I guess
So are you familiar with the JV agreements?
Never did a JV in my look. Just know I never did an independent deal ever in my life. This might be my first independent deal ever in my life.
Don't we have it on our site?
We have one. We got to. We
Okay.
do have one. We got to post it. It'll be on at least in a week or two.
The worst case scenario, if he's lived up to his expectation at this point, which sounds like he kind of has, I give him the benefit of the doubt, but I would have a JV agreement in your hand when you go
email
there.
support
Okay,
at
gotcha.
Flip with Rick.
Yeah.
And then just put urgent in the thing, and then
I'll send it to you if it's not up
we'll
there.
send it to you, and then we'll make it public for the people in the future because you're a Mastermind student, so we got to help you out. But
If you have a JV
Yeah.
agreement, it's specific to that property. It spells out the profit.
Support at Rick and Ginn.
Rick, no, what is it? Support at flipwithrick.com.
yeah, support at Flip with Rick.
Support. Flip. And
And
then just type in what?
Urgent,
Yeah,
and just put in what can I have a JV agreement?
I'll just attach it on there. So what you do is you fill out that agreement. It spells out how the proceeds go out for that property, and then you give that to the title company.
Okay.
In essence, you're basically kind of clouding the title to where your partner doesn't get all the money.
Yeah.
Without, but like there's still, I'm here to tell everyone, they're still somewhat in control if they're on the contract. The other way is you just throw your name on the contract too, but that's not always the recommended way to do it. But
Okay, I'll get the JV agreement, and then the seller doesn't have to say. It's just me between me.
no, that has nothing to do with them.
Okay, cool.
And then just keep figuring out.
Mhm.
Remember, your deal with that person, if it doesn't work out, move on with your life and don't do another deal with them. If it works
Gotcha.
out great, then you can look at future possibilities. So you constantly got to be baiting them. Go, listen, I got 5 or 6 other deals I'm working on. Maybe you're not close to it,
Mhm.
but let them know I have a lot of potential. Plus, Daniel, you're young, like
Yeah.
you're learning. I mean, in 3 or 4
I
years,
value people, Rick. I value people more than I do money. I just feel like people are everything. People I can trust. And
I
stuff.
do, but people will listen. I'm telling you, in real estate specific, people will take advantage of you. Like
I know.
it's,
Oh yeah.
I've been abused.
telling you
like,
about-
in such,
I was
I've lost millions of dollars on a deal because I didn't have the right
You're in
team
Florida.
behind me.
You know what's so
Sunny place
funny?
for shady people. Yeah.
You know what's so funny that I actually was talking to my friend Bob about this. He's like a psychologist and my mentor. I was talking to him about this, and I'm like, you know what? I'm so scared right now. I told him about the whole deal, and then I'm like, I'm about to hop on Rick Ginn's and Zach Ginn's channel. I could already hear their voices before me even hopping on. Daniel, well, this stuff is a mess. Why are you JVing? Or like I already knew.
No, it is, but like you're going to walk away with a skill set. The next time it comes up, you're going to find another $20,000-$30,000 in profit, and you're like, but you learn that skill set when you failed.
Yes.
And most people think they learn when they're successful. It's actually the opposite. I've made the most money in my career in wholesaling when I've had some of my biggest
It's
failures.
riding a bike. Eventually, you just got to go.
You go, okay,
know?
dude. Like I mentally know I just keep offering too much.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to minus off 40 grand or whatever the numbers in my head
Yeah.
until I figure this out. And let me tell you what, people laugh about that. I did that for 2 years and it worked. And then I went from 30 to 50 grand. I go, you know what? It's like, it's all a big game.
Yeah.
So it's like, you have no idea what the other person's thinking. So you'll know going forward.
Okay.
It's such a gut feeling when someone says yes when you make that first offer. And by the way, somebody goes, does this work on cars and boats? It works on everything. I'm telling you.
I realized that when I started wholesaling, I'm like, wait a minute, I could get an off-market Lamborghini, lowball that guy. I'm just kidding.
No, it's just,
It's a joke.
Yeah, you're on the right path. So you got to you've got 4 lessons there.
Okay.
And you walked away, and by you guys, so by Daniel taking action, he's learned his mistakes, his lessons. Sometimes you have to experience the mistake.
Yeah.
We've all been taught about mistakes in our textbooks through school,
Yes, sir.
and we still don't get it. Like there's a reason all these wars and stuff break out. People make us wars have been broke out over just simple assumptions. Oh, I didn't know you meant that. Okay, we're coming to invade your country.
Yep.
When people would just talk and work it out,
Yeah.
millions of lives will be saved. Same thing in wholesaling.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Zach, Rick, I just have one more favor. If you guys could do, if I could give you the address and you guys could kind of look it over, boy, just out of curiosity.
Sure. Daniel, you got to understand one thing, though.
Yeah.
Do you know what determines how much you make on a real estate wholesaling deal?
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm here to learn, which means I don't
You're
know.
a cash buyer, dude.
You're
You're a
cash.
cash buyer. I
cash
can
buyer's
tell
gonna be the
you
best one.
the thing's worth $100,000 or it's worth $1 million.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's what your cash buyer is willing to pay for it.
Correct.
So you can put in the private chat the address. I'll look at it, but like it's honestly at the point right now, you didn't need to lock it up for the lowest price and bid it up to a buyer.
Remember, comps are just to guide you. Like there's never a guarantee.
It's not
I always tell people, the more time you spend comping tells me you paid too much for it.
Put it on the
Like
private
when you get a
chat.
property and go, listen, I just got it under contract for 100 and it's worth like 220. It needs no repairs. I'm like, don't worry about comping. Just see what the most the cash buyer will pay for it.
the lowest you can get out of it.
We use comping to try to justify what we made on our offer, and it becomes like an addiction. I can tell, Daniel, you spend a lot of time on the comping part.
Mhm.
Comping's it's somewhat arbitrage if you think about it, like what people pay for stuff. It's you just have a ballpark and that's it. You just go with the gut feeling. Is it clean? Is it dirty? And you'd be surprised.
You'll offload that for 220, 210 to 230. Like it. I don't know the condition, so
The
that's
condition.
probably-
The condition, it's block. It needs the bathroom needs updating. The kitchen needs
Dan,
upgrading.
you need to go there and look.
Yeah.
It's like
I see his little whiteboard. back
here's
there.
the thing, man. Like, I've had a seller told me that it needs a little bit of work, and it's like a disgusting house with the roof caving. And I've told seller that this thing's a pigsty and it's immaculate. So you got to go there unless
It's probably going to be worse when you get there.
Like, for example, like Jonas sent me this deal. He said, "Oh, I think it needs a little more work." I look at it, I'm like, it's like 50, 60K.
Yeah.
So
shout out to
Daniel,
Jonas, but
what percentage of communication is nonverbal?
What percent? I think all of it, right? Like
No. Then we just be going like this.
Let's go like 80%. 80%.
About 70%.
Oh, that's close.
So
Nice.
when you go there,
Yeah.
if it looks like worse than you thought, just start. You got to do the same thing. You just got to
Break my
start
hand
going. Oh my God, my partner's gonna kill me, dude. You got to plant it, and then when you get there and go, listen, and here's how I end up on stuff like that. There's a little bit more than I thought it was going to be. Like it's a lot more.
It's a mess.
You got to be open to it.
Get stressed out.
You got it, man.
Yeah.
You got
Thank
this,
you
man.
guys.
You got
Thank
it.
you guys.
Okay, bud. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Let us know.
You guys are
Yeah.
awesome.
Appreciate it.
See you, man.
Awesome. Love it. Oh my gosh. That's a fun guys. You have to get
We took a lot of nuggets out of that one.
Oh yeah. And then one thing you got to understand too, you ever seen cars in real estate? Cars pretty much they're all made basically the same. The reason why real estate works so well, like why you get discounts, is because they're all different.
They're all different. They're all so like unique, and and it depends on what they put into it and the interior. That's why we'll always have a market in wholesale.
There's always gonna be roof leaks. Like a car, it's like a 2014 Honda Civic. It's like there's a pretty big market, and they sell pretty quick, and they're very cars are so much more liquid. They're so much more liquid than
I've
houses.
seen neighborhoods a house hasn't sold in 20, 25 years. It's like
it's crazy.
But but the really cool thing is, like, I know it's kind of annoying how fast the prices have got up, and like, but we're all reaping the benefits. The higher the prices go, remember, the more spread you can make in wholesale.
Yeah, and I talked to Corey from Indiana. Her average ARV in her market's 140. Like, there's pockets in this country. Like, what about Detroit? People are locking things up for like 40K in Detroit. Like, there's still cheap markets. There's
Ohio.
a market.
I mean, there's plenty of stuff, guys. It's just
there's a market 30 minutes from our house right here. Not saying we live in the hood, but like there's a hood like 30 minutes away. Like 45 minutes.
I know it well.
Prices sell for 30 to 45K for the past 10 years. They have not moved. Like, there's cheap real estate everywhere. And I'm in Miami. Go out west. Go to Belglade. It's pretty cheap there. So it's like there's cheap real estate within an hour of most people.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, what are you willing to take for that, right? So honestly, that's what I've said. And it gets cheap. So let's talk. Van, what's up?
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call. And it's
What's
nice
up?
to meet you, Mr. Rick. Hey,
Man, how you doing?
I've been losing sleep over this deal, and I'm just trying to get out of it now. I made a lot of mistakes on this deal.
I'll give you the heads up. He gave the seller's EMD of $2,000.
Yeah, it's gonna bite me.
To the seller, $2,000.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Yeah, wait. I'm just saying we went over it yesterday.
Okay.
It's been so we got to help we got to help them out.
See
with
if we
this.
can unwind it.
So is this the situation in that deal?
Yes, it's so just to make sure, if the buyer, the seller, and the title company all have to adhere to the purchase and sales agreement, like everybody has to follow it to the letter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so say a title company that doesn't do assignments took a purchase sales agreement that does assignments. They still have to do the assignment, right?
As long as the contract's assignable, yes.
Yes. Okay, so this title company that we're using doesn't want to do assignment at all. They at first they did the right thing and refused the contract.
Okay.
But the seller was persistent with them, and they had a long-term relationship. So they they allowed this one time to do the contract, but only to double close, or I'll find a buyer and they'll just terminate the contract with me, put it with a new seller, and I get paid on the back end. It has complete trust with the seller. Like, this is a very riskful one.
You know what that's called, the one you just explained there, right there, right?
I don't know.
It's called a novation.
Wait, that's a novation agreement?
So an innovation it's the canceling of one contract to replace it with another. That's all innovation is. Everyone's got like these. I know what's his name's going out there throwing the like the Brewer method, stuff like that. I'm just telling you, innovation is not a contract. It's just a replacement of one contract with another. But go ahead.
Okay, so right now the title company lost me a buyer. It's been a month since they had the contract, and they were trying to figure out a way so they could do this without putting me on the contract. So they don't, because NAR is the reason they don't do assignments, because NAR came to them and they say don't do that anymore. Don't do assignments, and they stopped doing assignments completely.
Wait, what state are you in?
Louisiana.
Okay, I don't know what influence NAR has over an individual title company.
Well, like a month before we did this deal, I called them and asked if they do assignments, and they did at that time. But when I brought the purchase and sales agreement to them, at that moment, they did not do it anymore because NAR hounded them, and they stopped doing it completely with anybody.
Well, I'm just here to tell you, it's not NAR. NAR does not have the power to tell a title company what they can or cannot do. The only person that can tell them is the person that owns the title company. They can make a decision not to do it, or their underwriters for the insurance company says they won't do it. That's it.
Okay.
So you're getting an excuse, just so you understand the difference between the two. NAR is not a policing agent. They can only police realtors. That's it. And it's all civil, it's not criminal.
Okay.
So you need help. So where are you at of this? Do you need to get out of the contract?
I need to get out of the contract because it's heavily favored the seller.
Okay.
He took out my inspection period at, to safely get out of the inspection period.
Why would you agree to any of this?
I'm sorry?
Why would you agree to any of that?
I was in a slump for about 3 months, and I was really desperate for a deal.
Yeah.
Well, you don't get desperate enough where you're in a deal that you can't wholesale, and then you lose your money.
So your contract has no inspection period in it.
It has an inspection period, but it doesn't do anything, kind of. Like, I'm not able to back out, or I'm not able to get my EMD back.
You're just getting taken advantage of at this point.
Yes.
So guys, let me point out the lesson to be learned here. And I'm not trying to make an example of you. You never, ever, ever let the seller dictate the title company for this specific reason.
Van, you're hopping on. You should have hopped on when the seller's asking all this stuff. I could have helped.
Yeah. You got to have someone that looks. Everyone goes, well, the title company is a neutral party. I'm here to tell you they're not.
No. Whoever
picks them. That's like you pick your friends, right? Like you got certain friends, you know what to expect.
Yes.
So you are a visitor going to the home court, and you're in a friendly title company. I'm here to tell you, either sit down with the seller and ask them for the money back, because the title company is useless at this point. Would you agree?
Yes, but
okay, so here's what.
I'm sorry. You first. I'm sorry.
The problem is it's not a ton of money, but it's enough to pay attention. Here's what I do in your situation. I would go meet with the seller and then just unwind the thing. Just ask them nicely and give your money back. I'll help you try to sell like whatever you got to do to help them out and move on, because they're the only person that's going to give you the money back. Because how did you, the $2,000, did you leave it with the title company or you gave it to the seller?
To the seller.
I already told. So here's the thing, man. You gotta go to the seller and say, hey, I gotta back out of this. I need my EMD back. Now you have two options. Now you actually have three. You do that and you contact the title company, right?
Yeah.
And you hope and pray that they're sweet enough that they'll give it to you, that they'll give it back to you. Number three, this is gonna suck, but you're probably gonna have to hire an attorney to just help you get it out, and you'll probably be able to.
Who advised you to give the deposit straight to the seller? Was it the seller or the title company?
The seller. I was really desperate for a deal.
We can go around this a million ways.
Here's the problem. For you to hire an attorney, it's going to cost you more than the actual deposit.
That's the problem.
So if you just want to cut to the chase, I just try to work with the seller. Honestly, if it's not going where you need to do it, this is where I would say, listen, you can keep 1,000, give me 1,000 back. I'll move on with my life.
Not yet. Do the 2,000 first.
Yeah, ask for the 2,000 and just let them know that you're going to be hiring an attorney and you're going to look into it. And I'd also let the title. I don't know, man. I might go over to the title company and go, listen, I think you guys are a little bit liable in this transaction. You've given me some pretty bad advice to this point.
Or you have to double close it like that. That could be forced too.
If you can double close it, is it a good deal?
I only make $5,000 out of it.
Yeah, double close, you ain't gonna make $5,000.
I know. So it's like, oh my.
I would try to just work with the seller. To be honest with you,
get that EMD back and just do the right thing next time and listen.
And you got to ask a lot more questions with the title companies. And guys, don't ever let the seller dictate the title company.
I was thinking of forcing the title company to end the contract for us, as in I'll tell. Since they don't do assignments and on the
it's the EMD that's the only thing that really matters. Like the contract's like a mute point. That EMD is the only thing that's stopping you really,
because there's no
your risk is the EMD.
There's no suing because you don't have an agreement for the EMD anywhere. Like there's nothing. Because if you sue, the seller's going to okay, we'll follow through on your contract and sell it. Do you think they want to sell the house? Yes or no?
Yes, they do want to sell the house.
Okay.
Here's the thing: in EMD, the contracts, it shows where the escrow is being held at. Like it boggles my mind how this happened, because first of all, if you use our contract, which we tell everyone to use at freewholesaling.com, the EMD is sent to title. It says it's specifically there. So technically your contract, I don't know what whose contract did you use?
Your channel's contract.
Did it say that the seller gets the EMD on it?
No.
So I don't know why you sent it. We can go in a million ways around this, man. You got to get that EMD back. Your risk on these contracts is always losing your EMD.
Yeah. What about getting sued?
Getting sued?
For not performing on this contract.
You could get sued, but
something. Listen, I'm not here to harp on it. This is stuff you've got to figure out before you enter into an agreement. So they're most likely, I don't think there'd be a lot of damages because the house is easily sellable.
You don't get sued unless because we all have inspection periods we can get out of. The issue is you sign something with inspection period you couldn't get out of. So this is how you get sued when you write bad contracts like this.
Yes.
And unfortunately, you did that. So the best way to unwind this is just get out of the contract, ask them politely, and get your EMD back. That's all we can tell you right now.
And to be honest with you, I know 2,000's a lot, but honestly, if you ever been sued over a contract, it's a heck of a lot worse, because you'll be spending $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 to defend yourself. Sometimes, listen, ready for this? I once bought a business I had no business owning. I thought I could just buy cash flow. I tried for 6 months to do everything I could to make it work. I walked away from it. It was a lot of money. I just walked away from it. I said, I can't deal with this anymore. I went back and I just went everything I could in real estate. And then 3 months, I made all my money back. And so it's sometimes you just kind of have to move on. You're going to have to mitigate your damages and move on. At least it's not a $5,000 deposit. I wish it was like a $500 deposit.
Go get a $5,000 deal. And then
I would. I don't think they're going to sue you because it's a lot of work to sue people and it would tie up their property. I would try to get a settlement of the release of the contract and some form of your deposit back.
It'd be very hard for them to sue you because let's say this goes to court and everything. This will be in 8 months. Property values probably are going to appreciate in 8 months. So there's no damages, right?
Yeah.
The only damages I could ever see is like, this is 2006. We agreed to purchase your house for 500,000, and I ruined the whole deal, and now your house is worth 200. You could sue probably for that,
No.
but we're not in that type of situation right now. So dude, get the $2,000 back, get out of the contract.
Focus on your $2,000 first, then focus on getting out of the contract, and just see where it works out from there.
Start calling today, man. You got to call today. The faster, the better.
Yeah, every day that goes by, you're going to get deeper in the hole on it.
So my exit strategy, I was thinking of talking to the title company, telling them I want to assign this deal. They won't do it because for
Bro, they don't
liability
have a-
reasons.
Dude,
I know.
Get out of the contract.
Yes,
Get out of the
but
deal.
I'm trying to force the blame onto the title company. They lost me the buyer for not performing the work on it. They were supposed to figure out a way. It's been a month. They were supposed to figure out a way for us to work out this deal.
Okay,
And
so
I
first of
contacted-
all, it's not up to your title company to like do your job. Sorry.
Yes.
You can never rely on it. Title company's job is to underwrite the title and make sure they have legitimate sellers and everything's above board. That's it. If you guys expect more of your title company, it's like they're limited in their capacity. Like
This is
talking
why
to
you vet
Daniel
your
before about,
buyers.
I had my title company comp it. They don't care if they're going to comp it. Like, honestly, you could technically take the contract to another title company. There's nothing forcing you to keep it there. Like, you have no earnest money
Or
deposit.
he had the seller told him to use that one.
Yeah, well,
And it says if you went through freewholesaling.com, man, like, get out of the contract.
Get out of the
I'm
contract.
telling you, every day, if you try to go through this whole deal and then you can't find a buyer and then this title company screws you and you try to get out like the last day, the chance that seller's going to give you your money, they're going to be so mad they're not going to give it back. You have to go. I mean, what? You're in Louisiana, right?
Yes.
It's 5:34 there. Go call them right now and get out of it. Like,
No.
you got to do it now.
man,
But can I get the title company to release the contract?
it's
It's
not
after
their
5,
job,
bro.
It's not their job.
It's
Love.
not. It's an agreement between two parties.
A buyer
Title
and a
company
seller.
is the third party, man. You need to agree with the other party in this transaction, which is the seller. Van, you can do whatever you want, but we're telling you our advice in the situation.
Yes.
You can take it or not. You have not followed our advice starting out. We hope you take it now. Call the seller and get out of it. Get your EMD back.
Yes. Thank you. I'm
Do
so
that
sorry.
first,
It's just,
and then you can regroup and you can learn from it. It's not the end of the world. You got eager. You made a mistake. Like, people make mistakes.
Yeah.
Just don't compound your mistake. And like, this title company's not going to give you the time of day. Do not rely on them. You've tried. It hasn't worked. So you're going to have to go straight to the source. You're just going to have to eat a big thing of humble pie and figure out a way to use your rapport to connect with them, to make them feel bad, to at least try to get your whole deposit back, if not half of it.
And Van, come back next week. Let me know what happens. If it's been 3 months you haven't gotten a deal, you should have talked to me one-on-one. I would have 100% helped you and probably helped you out a lot.
yes, I'm sorry.
I tell everyone this. Don't come to me when you have to. Come to me before, like, you're desperate. This is what I always ask everyone.
It's like a lawyer. Don't wait
Yeah.
till you're getting sued.
Yeah, don't wait till the
Meet
worst
with them
possible.
and have
Yeah.
a proactive conversation to try to prevent it. But listen, I've made much worse mistakes, so it's not like
Me
the end of
too.
the world. It really, it's $2,000 you got on the line.
I
I
just
get
don't want
it.
to get sued, though. I don't care about the 2,000. I just don't want to get sued.
Okay, then go meet and have that
Get out of the
uncomfortable
contract.
conversation and
Yes.
just figure it out
If
right
you-
now.
If you get a verbal agreement from the seller to get out of it, you're not going to get sued either. So are we running in circles here, man? Go call them.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for the help. Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks.
Bye.
We say we're circling the drain.
I'm telling you right, like, I don't know how many times we can
That's
say
tough.
this.
You guys, you
Well,
got to
it's-
use your title company
I feel
for
bad
that
for
reason
him,
alone.
but to a point you can't feel bad. Like, guys, we go through freewholesaling.com. Every single mistake that we tell you not to do, Van kind of did. And the truth is, if you're in a point right now where you're quote unquote desperate to get a deal, talk to me one-on-one. I will solve it.
Yeah.
The thing is, when you come to me one-on-one, I'll tell you the truth of what you have to do. Most people say, I don't want to do that. And that's what happens. So now here's the lesson on this. I've said it a million times. Never give the EMD to the seller. You have to use your wholesaling title company. That is number one. Use
Mhm.
your wholesaling friendly title company. Freewholesaling.com. You have an amazing video on how to get the right title company there. EMD with the seller, right? Always need an inspection period. Always. If you're using our contract. It's just, guys, it's when we give you a rule for wholesaling, we give it because we know what happens when you don't use that rule. You're in that situation. So rule number 1, use our title company. Why? If you use your wholesale, if you don't use a wholesaling friendly title company, deal's dead.
And guys, this whole thing where it's like, well, I'm desperate. I've been in a slump. I'm here to tell you, man, I've done the exact same thing. Buying a property that you're overpaying for will only worsen your slump tenfold, because you're not going to make any money. You're going to work the next few months free. And then you're going to wind up being forced to rehab one of your properties because you can't afford anyone to do it. I learned this mistake 17 years ago. I'm just telling you. Sometimes you make the most money by not buying a property. Sometimes it just doesn't work. You have to stick to your guns. You can't make your criteria fit the seller. The seller has to fit your criteria. If there's no motivation there, you have no deal.
Yeah.
So, okay, you got a contract signed. It's not going to make, I promise you, your problems will just compound. Have those uncomfortable conversations. Van right now, he just needs to sit down with the seller and mitigate his damage. He's made a mistake and need to move on.
Go switch it.
Because if you ignore it, it only compounds
That's
10 times worse.
Go through freewholesaling.com. If you're in a slump, desperate, whatever, in a bit, this is why you have to talk to us one-on-one. I'll tell you what you got to do. I think we have a following here about wholesaling because what we say works for people.
No, you just can't.
It's not because we give bad info out, right?
No. The guys, like, we're in this fight every day. Like, we're doing deals. We're experiencing the same stuff, you guys, all the drama, the ridiculous pricing. We work through it. So we try to give you stuff that works in our business to save you some of the pain. Some of the stuff, non-negotiable, like the whole title company, non-negotiable. I got my clock cleaned so many times doing that. I'm just telling you, I'm done. And I didn't lose $2,000. I'm talking about 50, 60,000. And Zach knows there's just certain things we do not negotiate on. And that's it. Some of the stuff's give or take. You make the offer. You want to use the Volley Method. You want to do the good cop, bad cop. But some of these rules, if you guys would just go to freewholesaling.com, they're there. Do not change them, because I'm telling you, I made so many mistakes. That's why our contracts are the way. Our assignment contract is nothing more than a miracle of 20 years of everybody trying to go behind me and do like slippery stuff.
Yeah, but here's the thing I've always seen. If your seller's like $2,000 EMD, I know for a fact this probably is going to be a good deal.
Yeah.
That's lesson 1. Like,
so guys, how many times have we given a seller straight up an EMD? Very rare.
We've done it, but if we do it, they have to sign a lien on the property.
So they sign a lien on
We're
the property.
making 40 to 50K at minimum.
We tell them it's non-negotiable. It's 100%. And guys, when we do those deals, we're making so much money. And by the way, I can afford to take $1,000 or $2,000 risk. Okay. I don't want you to do it the first time you're starting out. So
just remember that, guy. But guys, just go through freewholesaling.com. It will save your butt.
It's all right.
That's all I can. And talk to me one-on-one. So that's it, guys.
So guys, call us with like some proactive questions, because it's much more productive. I can sit here and play lawyer all day, but I'm just going to try to cut to the chase on it.
Let's get it. Ben, what is up?
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Every day above ground's an amazing day.
What's up, man?
So I'm new. I just started wholesaling, like taking it seriously, about a week ago.
Okay.
And I have my first appointment in person. I'm in Kansas City, and I don't have a title company picked out yet. Should I just put in the contract, like, use title company of buyer's choice, or before the appointment, should I find a wholesale friendly title company?
Here's 2 things really quick.
Yeah, go
I'll
ahead.
cut you off. You say, first of all, you're an action taker, so shout out to you. You've done
Appreciate
more
it.
action than a lot of people. So number 2, anyone in the chat right now in Kansas City, Missouri or Kansas side?
This one's on the Missouri side.
Missouri. Anyone from Kansas City, Missouri that has a wholesaling friendly title company? If you can say it in the chat, we could probably get in the next 5 minutes for you, hopefully. But we'll see if anyone is in has a title company there. Good thing is there's a million of them, so you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1 thing you gotta do: go to Facebook, go to the Kansas City Real Estate Investing, and I want you to search title. Actually, let's do it together. You talk to them. I'll look this up for you.
Okay. So worst case scenario, if you when's your appointment?
Saturday.
Okay. So if you don't have one in there, there's a cute little term that realtors use a lot of, but I think more investors. You can put TBD, which is to be determined, and
Okay.
it can buy you like 3 to 5 days. But remember, the point it's real. The title company is much more important on the wholesaler side because they don't know you. You're doing your first deal. You'll be a little bit nervous, and they might have a few questions, or they want to know if you're legit. The title company is supposed to be in your corner. So if they call and go, "Hey, I spoke to Ben. We did the contract. Do you know of him?" You got to like prep them. It's your first deal. I don't want anyone to be lied to. Yes, we've talked to Ben. He's a great guy. We've met him. He's very legit. Like something as simple as that. So if you don't establish a relationship, when they call the seller or the seller calls the title company and they get an uneasy feeling, your deal can instantly come apart. So
Okay.
once we have a good deal that's under contract, we have the title company reach out to the seller to, "Hey, listen, I see you're doing a deal with Ben. Ben's a great guy. Hey, I just want to get your email, your phone number, and I need to get some information to get a payoff on your mortgage."
So let me tell you this really quick. All right.
Go ahead.
So it took me 5 seconds to do. So your appointment's Saturday, you said?
Yes.
So what you're going to do tomorrow is I just went to Kansas City Real Estate Investment Group. Someone last year posted, "What title company do you guys use for Kansas City?" I'll look here. I don't know these people. Ryan says, I'm a closer at Omega Title. So hit up Ryan Feelers. All right, you see this?
Yeah,
You writing this guy's name down?
I am.
Message him on tomorrow. Call him Advantage Title. Call them too. Alpha Title, Chicago Ambassador, and Blueprint Title and Clear Title Overland Park.
Okay.
Do
I
you have a
actually
Facebook account?
go on.
Do you have a Facebook account, Ben?
Yeah, I do.
In the private chat, I just sent you that little post, so you can go find it.
Okay, appreciate it. I actually had
Cool.
I feel like I wasted like $100 on this, but I had like a meeting with a lawyer for like an hour, and he recommended Alpha Title. So you said Alpha Title too, so
There you
I'll
go.
reach out to them.
Yeah,
Cool.
just ask them if they do assignments, if they're
Yeah.
familiar with it, and
Just say, "Hey, I'm going on an appointment Saturday. I want to go lock up a contract.
yeah.
Would you be, if I lock it up on Saturday, on Monday, would you be able to help with the seller, facilitate it, crash buyer assignments?" That's it. Go to
Okay.
freewholesaling.com. You have an amazing video. It's literally why we use it, freewholesaling.com. The same questions you need to ask every title company
Yeah.
before wholesaling. The exact questions, word for word.
Okay.
That's
Gotcha.
it.
You just want to make sure you want them in your side because it's already tough enough. The last thing you do is sometimes sellers will call our title company right when we're done with the contract, and they're going to go in there fishing. "Hey, do you know this Zach Ginn? He's, these guys, he seems a little bit young. Is he legitimate?" Like, dude, like this guy, they buy a ton of houses. They're rock solid. So since you don't have a relationship with it, you got to like start somewhere. If they're close enough, if you can get over there before your appointment and just try to get to know the receptionist's name, the owner's name, and just get familiar with them.
Okay.
It's a huge help because honestly, they're the only thing in your credibility kit right now, other than your parents. It's just the truth. Like nobody's in your corner right now. So start out with the title company. It's critical.
Dude, you're taking action, man. Like you already met an
It's
attorney,
awesome.
doing
He's
all this
figured
stuff.
out.
So like,
You can't wait
Yeah.
till you like know everything about wholesaling. It doesn't work. You got to take the action. Ben, my first 3 deals, I had no idea what I was even doing in wholesaling. I had no business doing it, but I made a good amount of money where it's like, okay, I can definitely do this. So you're on the right path. Don't let anybody else steer you wrong because there's some people who study this stuff for years and never do anything.
yeah, man, you're taking action. You're learning as you go, which is the best way to learn it.
Yeah.
Man, this is the perfect video for you for that appointment, right? Like, dude.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, let's get. How did you find this deal?
So I code violations in Kansas City, Missouri, and to also be clear, like, so I'm not 100% confident it's a deal. Like you were just talking to Daniel about running comps and whatnot. I came to him, I figured out the condition, and it's rough. Like it's very rough, and
That looks like money signs to me.
I came in and I thought I was lowballing him, and I came in and I was like, would you consider like 30? Like like I thought he was gonna like hang up on me, and he was like, yeah, I'll take 30. And I was like,
See?
oh my God.
See,
So Ben, this
is that the
great.
worst?
This is great. Okay. So what you're gonna do is meet them at the house. Don't get 30 locked up. You're
Mhm.
gonna go there. We're gonna put some acting on. All right. Oh, this is a lot worse than I thought. And
The head rub's the worst one.
Unfortunately, you're probably not going to be acting when you get there. You're going to be legit like, oh my gosh, and just act a little surprised and say this, because I'll give you permission. Hey, my partner Zach, we went over it. He's, he's at this price, 15, 20, and then if you lock it up for 10, 15, you're probably got a deal there, man.
Yeah.
Like, there's plenty of investors in Kansas City, dude. So
facial features, dude.
This is
non-verbal communication. I've learned the higher people put hands on their head, the worse it is. So sometimes I just kind of go, I used to use a line and go, man, this isn't what I signed up for.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't anything what I expected. And then once they start talking, you go, well, Ben, do you think you can still buy it? That's when you can really go down like the low ball threshold to go, listen, I don't know. I know we initially talked about 30, but like I'm nowhere near that.
Man,
Yeah.
this is the right video for you. So
That's
we're going to do
perfect,
that.
man.
We're going to lock it up. You're going to make sure to tell the seller that, hey, this is great. Me and my partner might go buy it one more time or two more times to the property. And then that's the walkthrough. Assign it, use Alpha Title, get that money, repeat.
No, I mean, the property's motivated. It's not like he's motivated. You just got to put the right deal together. It'll work.
At 30, you can get lower than that. If that's what they initially are okay with, way lower.
Maybe it's just a starting point.
Yeah.
We've locked up deals for 5K. So
you got it, man. Go lock the title company down and just get to know them good enough. So if they call on Monday, I doubt they're going to call on Saturday. That you're confident that they're not going to like, who's Ben? Like, who is it? You better make sure they remember your name, because someone's going to call the receptionist and go, I don't know who you're talking about.
And Ben, while you're at it tomorrow, because you kind of don't have the appointment tomorrow, go to that Facebook group I just showed you and just find some cash buyers, message some buyers too.
Yeah, start working on them.
Ask Alpha Title. I promise you, they probably have buyers that say, oh, Gene from Alpha Title. Hey, if there's any wholesalers that have any more deals, send them to me. Alpha Title will probably give you some buyers that are trying to buy more deals, because they know that buyer is going to pay Alpha Title for the title. You'll probably get some cash buyers.
The title companies, honestly, they're like that. They're like that non-employee that's critical to your business.
Yeah, so
they have the keys to all the information, all the cash buyers, who's the biggest hitters, who's the best agents, who's the hard money, who's the soft money. You'd be blown away with what a title company can do, but you've got to help them out so they don't know you. So
you got this, man.
You got it, man.
Hey, you're taking action, so
keep it up. Know how it works out.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate
okay, man.
Have
Good
a great
luck,
one.
man.
Thanks. Yeah.
He takes action.
That's it, dude.
That's
he's
all
like,
you gotta do.
the guy doesn't even have a title company.
He listened to what I said. I said,
motivated. Listen, if I had to pick, I would take a motivated seller over all the other stuff. He's got to do a little bit of work over the next 24 hours, but he's in great shape.
No, I literally say, put your head down, pull a government list and start marketing.
Yeah.
He literally has an appointment at an amazing deal right there. That's the thing. When I tell you just put your head down, stop overthinking, just go, he just went. And that's what you're supposed to do. So let's see what else we got here. We got Floyd.
Oh, what's up, Zach, bro? How you doing?
I'm blessed, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. So I didn't even know this was to hop on your thing. I just was watching you from it because it was posted in the group.
Hey, he took action.
Hey, he took some action, man.
You got any questions for us, Floyd, while you're on here?
No, bro. Zach, actually, I want you to hit me up and stuff. We connected a while back. I got 8 rentals right now in Dayton, Ohio. So we're doing $160,000 cash out refi.
Okay.
And then that was through me using realtors and wholesalers to get those deals. So before, I've been out here in California, I've tried all kinds of stuff like bandit signs, all that, and I couldn't get them to do the FOIAs or nothing. I harass so many people, and I see you interviewing a lot of people from California, and the only way to get the information you want is to physically go into whatever county here in California and do that. You can send it in online all you want or harass them on the phone, but these are government employees. They're not going to tell you anything.
Yeah.
No, they don't like working like that. I mean, you take a government job. I shout out to everyone who works for the government. Like, we have no ill will, but like when you work for the government to a point, it's like you're not here to like a lot of the government work. You kind of not doing much all day. Like you're doing stuff, I get it, but like they're not going to do extra work just to appease you, right? Like they don't really have a boss too much that's going to hit them like that. Like they don't really have a quota of how much money to make. So you're going to have to be more annoying of you being there and harassing him than how it gets to the point where it's like more annoying that you keep asking. And I'd actually have more free time for myself if I just give it to you than if I don't. And you have to reach that point with government employees.
See, with like the pre-foreclosures and stuff like that here in California, like I said, like the clerk and all that stuff, they have no idea, bro. Like you literally go into like the clerk or the recorder's office, and like they barely can tell you like that there's somewhere you can view files. That's the crazy part about it.
A lot of clerk of the courts don't know. I mean, I would just notice the defaults, list pendants, and kind of go from there. But
yeah, I'm
that's
pulling
awesome,
all
man.
kinds of good stuff, bro. Like some stuff that I'm not gonna like drop right here, but I got like probably 15 different file types I'm pulling. So.
That's awesome, man. That's cool,
Yeah.
man.
Well, I appreciate you having me hop on here, bro. Let's catch up sometime. I didn't mean to interrupt your podcast.
You're good, man.
My bad.
Okay. Have a good one,
Appreciate
Floyd.
it.
All right, late, man.
I got to see.
Jason.
What's up? What's up? I'm here. Oh
What's up,
my
man?
God.
How are you?
I was listening to you guys in the kitchen. I'm doing good. How are you, Zach and Rick?
I'm good. I know it takes some time.
Excellent. Yeah.
I know it takes some time to get on here from the back, but
No, you guys are good. I'm just doing stuff in the background, listening the whole time. That's what I
He's
usually
being
do.
efficient.
Jason, the question is,
Yes.
did you get that deal locked up?
I didn't. No, that's what I wanted to get on here and tell you guys.
Dang it.
Okay. Tell us.
I left you guys off that she had to check with her lawyer with the
Yeah.
contract, right? You guys remember that?
Yep. Never the
Mhm.
best, but yeah.
She got back to me and told me that her lawyer said that the house is worth between 240 and 280,000. And she told
the
me
lawyer?
she told me that she wants $200,000 for it. And she
Did the-
even shook my hand. She was like 172.5, and she was like, deal. She shook my hand and everything. And she called me on Sunday, this past Sunday. She said that's what she told me. Now I'm on a Facebook page, South Carolina wholesaler, something like that. There's another wholesaler who freaking has the deal. He is selling it. I hit him up for the information. He's selling it for 279,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Jason,
and
don't
then
worry.
it says open to offers.
Jason, karma's a thing, man. Like I'm telling you right now, this seller, you probably have never gotten a deal with this person to a point. Like I'm just telling you, if usually when a lawyer does that, they say, well, I can buy it from you. And they do that. That happens all the time.
Yeah.
But don't be greedy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know you want to go like curse and scream at this wholesaler. If that guy didn't lock it up, another Joe Schmo kid would have done it. So there's nothing you can do. Like she won't close on this one. I'm telling you, she'll go around a rat hole and she'll just go in a circle.
Doesn't it need a lot of work, or
It needs a ton, right?
It needed the roof and the AC. Those are the two big things. So the guy who got it put the rehab at 30 to 35,000, and he put the ARV at 350 to 375,000. So
Now you could drop a landmine if you really wanted to. Like, was she willing to sign at 200?
yes, she was.
And
I turned it down. I was like, unfortunately, I can't do that. It's just too much.
what was it worth to a cash buyer?
We determined, me and you said around 240,000, but I don't know. I was just in my gut. I was like, you know what? I don't feel comfortable doing 200,000. So
Okay. Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
so here's a couple.
Now I'm
ideas.
kicking myself in the butt. I'm like, man, this guy's got it. And he's selling it for 279,000.
Well, listen, it's you have no idea what he has under contract for.
that's probably might be a JV deal too. You got to think about that
Yeah,
too.
because he's probably got it so tied up. But it's when they come back, the whole lawyer thing, people are like, I'm going to tell them not to use the lawyer. I'm not like, if you tell them they can't have their lawyer look at it, I guarantee you won't get a deal.
That's a
So I
red
tell
flag
people,
for them. Yeah.
when you fight a lawyer, you just got to pass the snuff test with the lawyer. I think it's funny that a lawyer goes in and tries to value the property. That's the
Yeah.
same as you and me giving legal advice. Like we get
Right.
scolded the minute we do that. She didn't ask him what the worth was. She just asked what the contract.
Look over the contract,
Yeah,
right? You
so
know what
it's like-
you know what I should have did? I should have just sent a blank contract without the price on there. I'm thinking I should have did that.
What a horrible strategy.
It's not a horrible one, but
Typically lawyers like to see them
Yeah,
fill
I
out.
mean,
So it's
they would have come back. You need to fill it out with those blank things on here. You got to understand too, you did the right thing. This is why I always make a yes or no decision, and then they have to sign there.
because
but-
once
Yeah.
she signs it, then the lawyer comes
Yeah,
back.
once she signs it, the lawyer can't do
the,
anything.
the lawyer, I love when lawyers do this all the time after the fact. I already have it signed, and she's like, "My lawyer's recommended that I don't take this contract." I go, "Just let your lawyer know we already signed it. If he wants to be part
Yeah.
of the closing and you guys want to pay for it, that's where I just kind of run him over." In this event, though,
Yeah.
175, she goes to 200. Here's what I would have done if you got stuck in this position. But I do a lot more deals than you do. I just would have given her like the 200, and I would have put in a very long like inspection period. Because
Yeah.
remember, when people start playing with you with the price, that's your permission to go, okay, we can both play games. Like, okay, I'll give you 200, but I need 3 weeks to really kick the tile. Like I gotta, that roof has to, like, we got to find out about the roof, the AC, and I'm worried about that back wall. And that's your time to run your buyers through there and figure out what you can get away with. Sometimes it's okay if you make 5 or 10 grand just to prove your concept, and you learn as you go forward. You stepped all the way out. You did the honorable thing.
Yeah.
But I would have locked her up at 200 and gave like a 30-day inspection period, and then find out, and then I could at least come back to her and go, "Listen, I've tried everything. My contractors all look back at it, which are my cash buyers, and they say it needs 60 grand worth of work. I was planning on 30. Can we do
true.
like, I know we said 175. I can go up to like 180 and just kind of go from there. And that way you have a way to do it. But the idea is to just learn from it, Jason. Like, whatever, it didn't work out. Like when it comes back up and you get rejected, okay, I'll put it under contract, but now I'm going to put some of my contingencies in to make sure it works out in my favor, because the more you give them, the more pressure you have on your side to get that contract sold.
Yeah. The only thing I'd also do, Jason, now, it's never fun, but it's an insurance policy. I would call that seller again, say, "Hey, anything going on with it?" You already know. "Oh, I already have a buyer," or whatever. She'll be very short on you. All you got to say, "This is an insurance policy. Hey, in the event that this buyer's not ready to go, I'm ready. Me and my partner, we have our funds ready. If anything changes and you're ready for a serious buyer to ready and buy this house, you give me a call. Can you do that?" "Yeah, but then the guy's going to buy whatever." When it hits the point in 30 days when they can't find a buyer because they probably locked it up for too high, she'll come running to you crying, 200, and you say, that 170.
And
And then
I would tease her with the 200. Call me if it doesn't work out.
tease
I
her
would
up.
ask straight up, "When's your contract expire?" She's never going to give you the price, so don't ask. Just say, "It expires at the end of this month." I go, "Okay, great. I
And
wish you the best of luck."
Don't be mean. Say, "Oh, this buyer sucks. He's terribly wet." You're going to be looked at as a negative person.
Yeah.
Just say, "Hey, in the event, if you're ready for a serious buyer," because she'll put your serious in her head as, "Hey, you're a backup." You'll be the first call once the wholesaler's like, "We got to get out of this deal." So you'll be fine, man. And that wholesaler's probably
sense.
watching us right now. And hey, if you're in that,
He
you
might
got that
be.
deal in your contract, you need to get us a buyer for that. But like, we don't pick favorites here.
No,
But
I know, but like, you did all the hard work, and you're right with what you're doing. Here's what I do is, like, whenever I have a lead and I'm negotiating, I want to put a circle around that seller, and I want to make sure I have right of first refusal, like on everything, no matter what. So when they inch you up on price, especially when a lawyer sticks his 2 cents in there on values,
Right.
okay, that's fine. That's fine. But I've got to do some more due diligence on my side. I'll do the contract. You just go, listen, I do 190, but at like 200, I gotta do some extensive inspections.
I know we say this. This is what I always say too. So if
It's a two-way road.
I've had this too with lawyers too, they say, The lawyer said it's worth 260. I'm like, oh, I play stupid, right? The lawyer offered you 260 for the house. You should probably take that then. They never offered me
away.
260. Well, then why are they an appraiser? They're not an appraiser. I'm like, well, I could say the house is worth $5 billion. It does, like, I'm just willing to buy it. Like, and then you have to put them in their head, like, wait, unless someone offers it, that's what the house is worth. And say, did the lawyer offer you that? So I get one. I use that for realtors. The realtor said it's worth 150. Yeah. Oh, she offered you 150 for the house? Play stupid. Like, no.
What you're going to walk away with. So I would just listen, when they go up on price, especially when someone sticks their nose in there doesn't belong there, go up with them, but like then make it one-sided. Go, listen, if I can't sell it for this, I guarantee you I'm getting out. It's like 30. Dude, you work too hard to get the leads and stuff like that. And like, get it. I want you to make 40 or 50,000, but not every deal you're going to make that. So a lot of times we think we're making 80 for 90, and we get ticked off. We make $20,000 deals. And I go, just take the money. It's a gift. She's giving it to you. It's there. I get it. Somebody butted in, but it's not going to happen every time. And then worst case scenario, just before the closing, I mean, that's how it sounds rough. You probably work in another discount and it would have worked out. So now you'll know going forward is don't completely like take my offer. I'm walking. Like look at like the think about that girl that goes out, that real pretty girl that takes her ugly girlfriend out with you, and she's like constantly protecting her friend. Where do you? I'm just telling you, it's like you gotta like. If there's $10,000 or $15,000, I might as well get it, and especially if you're just getting started out wholesaling.
Yeah, I should have just taken it.
So the weird thing is, Jason,
I look back now.
The weird thing is sometimes you're like, how can one deal make 80 grand, or sometimes it'll make like $1,000. It's all in how you phrase the wording with people. That's it. Yeah. So you're learning. I promise you won't make this mistake again. And you didn't really make a mistake. You passed on it. That's it. And someone took it up.
What makes it worse is that I see it now. Another wholesaler has it, and I see he has it locked up. That's like a gut punch. Like when I told her, unfortunately, I can't do that, I was like, all right, it won't work out. But now he's got it. I'm like, man.
Jason,
you know what I mean?
That's the way you got to look. If you walk away from a deal, you have to be so confident that you won't even be upset if another wholesaler locked it up at that price that they wanted. Yeah. I walk away from deals. I always think to myself, like, hey, would I be okay if another wholesaler put this under contract? Yeah, that thing won't sell for that price. If you think in your head, well, this thing could sell, lock it up. I always say this. Always, if they say a price you want, if they give you an FU price, you get FU terms. At $200K, fine. I will have a lockbox. I have to bring all these people through.
You make it to where you can't fail on that backside. Like, okay, my margin's thinner. I'm not happy about it, but if I can't do this, I'm 100% out because now you put the pressure back on them. But like, about 4 or 5 years ago, I bought this house in Port St. Lucie, and it was completely molded. I got it from a realtor because they didn't know how to sell it. And somebody called me off a referral. I looked at it. They're like, oh, you can rehab it. We can sell. She goes, you can make $280,000 on it. I'm like, listen, I've been doing this a long time. 280 is a very high threshold for a single family home. I said, listen, it's a huge liability. The house is built wrong. The guy made it on his own. I assigned and sold the contract. The guy who said, he goes, I'm going to rehab it with the realtor and we're going to make like $250,000. I made my lawyer write up a hold harmless. I recommend not rehabbing this house that has major structural issues. 2 years later, everybody got sued. Yeah. And they tried to depose me. And I go, here's my waiver. Here's that. They're going after for fraud, everything. Apparently, the guy I sold it to rehabbed it, did a lipstick shortcut, pocketed $250,000. And they're going after criminally fraud. They're going after the realtor, the broker. And then the paper trail got down to me. I'm like, oh my God, like I forgot about it. And she goes, man, you made a smart. So they tried to sue me for my $25,000 assignment fee. I'm like, it's insured. It was insured in the title insurance and it's really not my problem. So, and they go, well, you didn't tell anyone. I go, listen, I wanted to make $250,000. I just didn't feel it was the right move. And I walked away. And everybody talked to you goes, they're still ongoing with that case right now. And sometimes there are deals like you make good decisions just to walk away from. If it does not align with who you are as a person, go, I'm not doing this crap. Like this is not my wheelhouse. Yours is fine. Just control the terms to where you make it okay, I'm only going to make 10 or 15, but like if it doesn't work out, I'm not going to get hurt here. And that's the only thing that you can change going forward on it.
Yeah,
So,
true. Well, I appreciate it. On to the next then. On to the next.
yeah, you got it. And just
So-
keep an eye on it. Ask her. She'll share the expiration date with you. They never share the price.
Well, my contract gave the tenants there 90 days to move out. So
Okay, well, that's what they're probably.
that's probably where they're at too. So
Yeah.
All right.
Well, just
But
keep an eye on
anyways,
it.
Live and you learn, man.
it
You
is
never
what
know.
it is.
You
Yeah.
learned.
Yeah.
I definitely learned a lesson there. So Zach, Rick, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much.
Okay. Have a
Thank
good
you.
one, man.
Appreciate
Talk to
it.
you guys
See ya.
next time.
All
Later.
right, see ya. All right, guys. So that is
Well, that was a lot today, wasn't it?
we got through a lot of emotional roller coasters today. I'm glad we do these one-on-ones because I just feel like so many like people got so many like things. We can do a video, about wholesaling real estate, about title companies, this and this and that. But when someone comes up like, hey, this is a real deal, this is real problems we have, like this is what's really going on. Nobody in wholesaling real estate, like nobody else in this industry does this. And this is why we do it. This is why we give so much content, because you could put your problem on like a text. You only have 2 sentences to say your problem.
Yeah.
Like Jason's problem, like we needed a full like 15, 20 minutes just to go over it. But like, here's the thing, like you learn from Jason's mistake there. Cool part. Sorry for Jason. We're going to use it for example here, but like, if you're like I don't know, Ben's watching this, right? He's new Kansas City, the guy taking action. He sees Jason make that mistake. Now he knows, hey, I don't have to make that mistake anymore. Most people in wholesaling, they have to make that mistake for them to learn that's a problem. No, guess what? They get to watch that live and figure out, hey, don't do that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Boom. Van, see that? Daniel, like, love you guys, but like, it's really good. Sometimes someone sees a mistake and they can get out of it. So you guys are doing the right things. You going on here. I'm telling you right now, you are becoming way better. And that's all I got to say, guys. Go to freewholesaling.com. Check it out. We'll see you guys soon. Appreciate it.
See you
All love.
guys.